Hello, my friends. Hopefully, you can hear me okay. My name is Pike Wazowski. It has been potentially a hot minute or never that you have heard my voice before. I was with some family in India. And, well, here I am with my co host, Mr. Monster. Monster, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Pike, and man, I'm glad to have you back, man. Obviously, getting some time off with your family, obviously, much needed. That's fantastic. But we uh, we absolutely love it when you're here, man. Whether that's competing or on the cast, man. I love it when you're here anyway. So I'm stoked for you to be here, man, and I'm stoked for this matchup that we have tonight. It's been talked about a good bit, so I think we're in for a treat.
Well, let me put it this way. The last time I saw Cusco playing in the jungle, they were an absolute menace. They kind of dominated the game they were playing in, and it did not look particularly close for the other team. So I am very interested in seeing how this game goes. I've
Yeah,
not
I think.
heard. You can go. You can go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Obviously, Cusco is someone we've seen, uh, time and time again here at the archives, and I believe that uh, this VIP Challengers, Vancouver Impact Challengers team, there's been a lot of talk about them, and based on their results so far, I think they're in a kind of in the driver's seat a little bit. Like I mentioned, kind of in my post, these two teams are mentioned, as maybe the two favorites right now in the division. So I think it's going to be a good one, and someone in particular I want to look at the ADC for VIP Challengers. Nutty one is someone I've seen around a little bit, and I believe he was in our last draft event. So, I think there's some experience there with what we do, and I'm pretty excited to see him play as well.
Yes, yeah, super interesting. It's going to be a um, pretty interesting game, especially for me. I have not seen any of the VIP guys yet, so it's always just really fun to see a group of new people, especially in the really high tiers play. It's always a pleasure to watch them go. Just kind of
Yeah,
based off of the knowledge of kind of the people we've seen play before, do you think there's any champions who would kind of be at the forefront of this draft? Any like big picks or bans or contested picks you can think of?
well, you mentioned Cusco, and I'm be honest, I'm a big fan of this particular champion, and I've seen Cusco play it before. I'm a big fan of Poppy, and Cusco does pull that out in the jungle, and I don't know how
Ooh.
meta it is at the moment, but that's a champion that I always love to see. I think it makes a big difference in some of these team fights, right? Like they the ability to knock one, two, members of the enemy team like away all at the same time. Like I think that's interesting. But on the flip side of that, for Pigeon on the other side, one thing I noticed when I was doing a little bit of research of the game, I see a lock game thrown in here or there recently, and
Ooh.
just based on what we've seen recently from Lock, I wouldn't mind seeing Lock picked up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely I've seen a lot more people hesitant to kind of pick him because he got nerfed. But I definitely think he's still someone to completely consider as we see Cuddle Party immediately get rid of Aurora Gameplank. Jax gets taken out by Vancouver Challengers. Um, and Vel'Koz gone, Nocturne gone. He is pretty high priority, very good at punishing the map, forcing 2v1s or 3v2s very quickly. Not surprising to see these kind of high agency champs that can affect the whole map with their ults get knocked out. And we're about to see the last ban out of VP.
Thinking this could be a Collier. Oh no, Shen. I was gonna look for the Akali or Syndra, but the Shen ban, that's very interesting. Cusco, like I mentioned, the Poppy in the jungle. That's another jungler that he likes to play.
Hmm.
I think those are his two top most played junglers in solo queue right now, I believe. So,
Hmm.
um, uh, really good on those kind of utility supporty type junglers. So I think that's a good ban.
Yeah.
I do notice that the Poppy is left up, though. I'm just saying, as we see Ash locked in for Cuddle Party there. Lucian, the response and Milia. Oh goodness, Lucian Milia. Okay, the combo that we know. Are you thinking this is going to be a Seraphine? You think we're going to see Seraphine here?
It's really tough because Milio can really kneecap your ability to do Ash things. Ash can very obviously Enchanted Crystal Arrow the Lucian. Milio presses R, the CC goes away, and Lucian has the dashes and the obnoxious ability to kind of get away. Instead, we see Senna kind of
Ooh.
doubling down and then immediate Snap Scion pick. Snap Scion almost always seen top. I have seen him jungled before. He has been jungled successfully in the Archives League
I,
before,
I
but
I'm pretty sure that's top lane the mortar for Cuddle Party.
yeah.
He is a Scion player. He also is a Poppy player. So
Mm.
there's a world where we see a Poppy before right here, and maybe they mix it up and swap it, and that Scion could go jungle. But I don't know if Cusco plays the Scion jungle.
Oh, and the Poppy band comes out. You were talking a lot about the Poopster. Well, guess what? You can't play it anymore. It's gotten taken away from you. And very importantly, you
That's
have Ash Senna bot lane, and it's a J4 jungle, which means if J4 connects with the bot lane in terms of his ult, there is literally nothing for Cuddle Party to do except flash out, which is very tough. That's a 7 minute, cooldown that you desperately want. So Ash and Senna, both being very immobile, are under a ton of threat right now already, and their kind of protector in something like a Poppy has already been ripped away from them in the second round of bans. Good call on a Kali that gets taken away too, and the picks and bans are coming hot and heavy, very fast.
I am. I guess these guys were listening either in the Discord chat in the days leading up to this or not, but they banned three junglers. I don't know, the
Yeah.
Jax, the Poppy, the Shin. Those are literally Cusco's three top most played champions. I mean, you're talking about maybe Warwick and I don't know, Kane potentially.
Mm.
That would be interesting. I haven't seen Kane in a competitive game in quite a bit of time.
It does feel like you need to do something to like get this Lucian away from your very squishy, sad people. He can pretty easily dash past Scion, and Mordekaiser comes out, which is pretty brutal into Scion. Scion is not a massive fan of Mordekaiser. The percent health shred on Mordekaiser passive, and the fact that Mordekaiser can just send you to Brazil, which means your ability to tank as a solo tank for your team goes away, which almost feels like you need to pick something with beef in this jungle. Otherwise, like, who is defending this immobile backline if Mordekaiser takes him out? So Cuddle Party starting to feel the heat of the opposing pick. We see a Victor go through, and now it's all down to Cusco. What do you want as your jungler? Is this a Scion jungle bait? Maybe. You definitely got a Mordekaiser who's very abusable, but be very
I think
interesting to see what they
I
get
think we're
pick
gonna see
here.
Warwick. I think we're
Warwick?
gonna see Warwick. If I'm a guessing person, I think we're gonna see Warwick here.
Yeah.
No, Shyvana. Okay, hold on, hold
Shyvana.
on, hold on.
Okay. I like
So
Shyvana.
with the Victor already locked in, what kind of champions do you think counter Victor? Let me look real quick. Let's see. Syndra, Hui, Akshan, Zoe kind of in their champion pool.
Hmm.
Do any of those sound like a Victor
Um,
counter?
It really depends. You're either trying, so Victor's really good at like mid to long range. So you're either trying to outrange him, trying to get super far away where you can poke him farther than like his e poke, or as you pick Silas, you try to get on top of his head. You make him really uncomfortable. You dive in on top of him. I was gonna say Akshan can rope in very easily, avoiding the slow field that Victor likes to put down. The timing and placement of the slow field is actually tough when you have an Akshan swinging in on you, and usually you want to burst him or you want to outpoke him. They have gone for the idea of we want to burst him. The ults aren't looking too bad here either. Massive AoE fear for Shyvana. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is Enchanted Crystal Arrow. And Scion ult is kind of low key great for Silas. You just run into people and knock them up real quick. And if you have to, you have an unstoppable escape. If the Scion makes the mistake of trying to gank you with somebody, you can yoink Scion's on own ult, and as many people have probably very angrily seen on the Rift, ult away unstoppably while tons of CC flies and just bounces off you and tries to get away. So Silas pick pretty decent here, and I assume he'll be going mid to try and just get on that Victor and make him really uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Silas is always a champion I pretty much don't want to see in any of my games. If it's on my team, that's one thing, but on an enemy team. But to be fair, most of the time, my champion pool is like Malphite and Nautilus. So, Silas obviously is a big fan of big ultimates like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's particularly for me. In this particular game, though, like, you mentioned a couple there that makes Silas, useful. And I think the biggest thing, like you said, getting on top of that Victor. But what for me, I think this bot lane matchup is going to be so interesting. Senna, a champion that, like, I think when people play Senna, the people who play Senna, like, they're really good at Senna, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that can make an impact in this lane, right? Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
damage that comes out from the Ashe and Senna pretty quickly. So, I think that's the matchup. Like, I'm super interested in watching. So, I think these guys are ready to jump
Yeah,
into the
it
game.
is looks like they're ready, and I own the lobby because I'm foolish and came in early. Okay. I think the time for talk is over, at least for us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um
We'll jump into champion select here. We'll let these guys get their things get their runes and mastery, all that good stuff put together, and we'll be right back.
yeah, before we go, do you have a favorite here just looking at the comps?
Oh yeah, true. Let me see. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like the J4 combo and the
Mhm.
Mordekaiser combo. Between the two of them, you can almost separate two members of the enemy team out. So for me, I'm going to lean Vancouver Impact Challengers here. I really like Mordekaiser and J4 together, and Lucian and Emilio, obviously, a super deadly combo. Being able to keep
Mhm.
that Lucian alive is super important. So I'm going to lean towards Vancouver Impact in this one.
Yeah, if I were to take the names away from the teams, which can be hard to do, I would like VIP better. I think the execution barrier is a bit less tricky. You see three immobile targets: Ash, Victor, Senna. You put J4 prison on them, and then you use a multitude of heavy CC you have to just delete them from the game. Always pretty easy to do. Mordekaiser has some pretty juicy targets to try and ult and have fun in Brazil with. So yeah, I think it's a bit easier to execute out of Vancouver for sure. But you know, Shyvana is a very dangerous champ if allowed to scale. Scion's going to be massive and fat, tanky. Victor can output tons of damage if not properly dealt with. So I like Cuddle Party's draft. I just think if I was forced to pick one for my team to play, I'd probably be picking VIP just because the execution barrier to me feels just a little bit lower. However, here's we are going to get some Riot spectator delay. We are going to take a real quick break just to let ourselves get into the game. Guys, I cannot wait to see this game, but for now, we are going to leave you for just a little bit. Get some water, get some popcorn, get ready, and we'll be back. Welcome back, my friends. Sorry for the bit of the delay there. The game has officially started, and we are here. As
As we
we,
see a little bit of an engage here in the top lane, just a little bit of fighting going on, nothing too crazy. Direct a camera shout out to you for showing me the bot lane fight. That's the one that I'm interested in mostly. Mordekaiser getting him down to below half HP now.
Mhm.
Uh, the mortar, you're gonna want to be careful there. You don't want to give up first blood to Mordekaiser. That's never a good thing.
Yeah, it can be very, very dangerous to kind of let a Mordekaiser do whatever he wants. It Once he gets going, it just gets gross. It gets really, really gross. So, um, it just goes, man. It's very dangerous for them. So, and it's also kind of a race because when you're playing in the bot lane, it's a race to level two. Who can get level two first? Because that's the person whose turn it is first. So, they're the ones
Yeah,
who
well,
get to like press and make things happen. So, it we
a little bit of an
see,
engagement on the bottom. J-Mont, you're down below half HP already. Good job by Nutty One putting out a good chunk of DPS there early. That Lucian, those double taps early on, really strong. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you
yeah,
there, but a little bit of action on the screen there. I thought maybe J-Mont would was gonna die there, but able to stay alive. Ash and Senna. We're starting to see a little bit of a gap there in the mid lane as we see an engage here over the Scuttle. Cusco getting down below HP. Pigeon getting really close. Might be able to pick up the first blood there on over to Silas. Great job, Pigeon. Able to kill Cusco. PSO1 also going down. Nutty One picking up another kill. That's a double kill or two kills for the side of VIP challengers there. Really, really great engage there all over the Scuttle. That's when we see that first action. We don't usually see a double kill over it, but in this case we did.
yeah, really crazy, really crazy play there. Really well played out of that bot lane. And that's kind of one of the things. Lucian level 2 and 3 is very dangerous. Yes, Ash is annoying because she could shoot her W. She has lots of harass potential, and Senna joins her. Senna is very weak early. She's like hoping to catch Ws and get decent Q harass off. She is not actually a brawler whatsoever. And neither really is Victor. Victor's kind of a lane bully. He likes to shoot you with ease, trying to collect his passive stacks to get the prototype going so he can get all those cool effects. But in the early game, he's not really much. So, really well played by VIP to say, hey, we're the ones who are strong right now, and we are definitely going to force this fight in the river.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here we go. We see the mortar kind of getting pushed back under his turret by Mordekaiser. I think this is going to be a consistent theme. Mordekaiser, you mentioned kind of in the pregame, pretty strong against Sion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know usually how the early game goes, but clearly it's not the easiest for the side of the mortar there. But able to keep pushing on. I mean, as long as he doesn't give up too much, like I think he'll be in good shape.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Absolutely true. So,
Uh,
here
we
we
do see a
go.
little bit of action in the bot lane. 91. This Lucian and Milio, kind of surprising me. Like I really thought a lot of the damage early on would come out from this Ashe and Senna, but Lucian and
Mm-hmm.
Milio doing a great job in this early game. Obviously, they already picked up the kill. Milio with 2 assists. We do see the Sheen first thing for Lucian there.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Sheen first on Lucian? Is that what they do now?
Essence Reaver. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
To get
okay,
in,
okay, okay,
I
okay.
it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah,
to
yeah,
get an
yeah.
Essence Reaver, get your enhanced autos and kind of take care. Lucian loves running out of mana early. It's one of his. He just loves running out of mana early, and you can actually run into a problem where like Milio's ready to go, you've got the health, but you don't exactly have the mana you need to make things work. And you really do want to take advantage of the Lucian abilities because they are what, gets you the extra autos and makes you really begin to cook. So it's pretty brutal to not have mana early as Lucian, especially because if you're just sitting there autoing and just not able to threaten the Ash, she's gonna shoot you. And you're gonna have a ton of
Yeah.
trouble getting in. So helping with the early mana woes can be very useful to Lucian. Bought the longsword, which really makes me think he's trying to get an essence as soon as humanly possible, so he can keep threatening as we see an infernal drake go down. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's looking really good for VIP right now. It already feels like cuddle parties in the hole.
Yeah, absolutely. The early Infernal Drake obviously good. There's a little bit of a anytime you can add on some permanent stats. I think that's a big bonus. Obviously, those two kills early are nice, but one thing to notice,
Mm.
like yes, if you look at VIP Pigeon, the Silas in this case, he does have the kill, but Schneider doing a great job. He's up 25 CS at this point now. So I mean that extra kill really
Mm.
kind of honestly you might still be a little bit behind in total gold. So like realistically like this game is the early play is nice for Silas as we see VIP Pigeon. Oh, the first ulti from Jarvan going down on top of PSO1. The Ash immediately taken out. Great engage there by the Jarvan dude. That is the second time Jarvan has shown up and made a huge impact already for this team. So the question is, right? The question that we're at least I'm asking myself is, Cusco, man, when are you gonna hit this this Shyvana power strike and make yourself known as well as we see Jaymont take the full brunt of the Lucian ult there.
Yeah. Um, the big thing is once J4 has 6, your bot lane is constantly under threat because J4 can ult. Once you're ulted, you have 2 immobile ADCs, which means you are absolutely dead, completely dead in the water when the J4 comes. It's very tough, which means if you are playing as Cuddle Party, you need to find advantages or you need to pressure that bot lane in a way where the J4 ganks are hard. Where do you find advantages? Well, if J4 is going to camp bot, let's go top. Let's take grubs. The problem is that it's Scion versus Mordekaiser. So you're not exactly free to take topside however you want, because if Mordekaiser decides to roam down, he'll probably have first move before Scion. It could be a bit of a trouble. Fortunately, Shyvana gets out with the Grubbins, and all's well that ends well, but it's kind of starting to feel a little suffocating as we see a 1k gold lead on VIP.
Yeah. I tend to agree. Like this early game, Red Side is doing a great job. You can kind of see they're controlling the vision, right? On the
Mm.
dragon, they obviously they took the first dragon, but we see Silas again going and great stun there for the victor. Like you probably keep yourself alive with that stun there, but a really good engage nonetheless by the Silas. But like we were talking. Oh no, Jarvan, are you gonna a little bit of dive here, bro? A little low HP does get the ulti off, but I think that is gonna be a kill over to the victor there, Schneider. Really great pickup. I'm not sure about that play stunner. That was a little bit over aggressive, I think.
Yeah, just a little. Uh, Again, you are playing, around these kind of power spikes in the game, and unfortunately, you're just not there yet. You're really not there yet if you are Schneider, because remember, what is Silas's number one goal is to get past your slows and your field and get onto your face and start hitting you. So you really need to keep as many minions between you and him as possible to deny him that entry. And now you're going to see Shyvana has to come pick up the wave, which I'm sure Shyvana's a big fan of, but I'm sure Schneider's kind of wishing he could be the one benefiting from those minions instead of his Shyvana there,
Yeah,
as
he
she
he
actually looks like she's holding.
he may not be there yet, but that kill and being up 21 CS is definitely going to help him get there. Shyvana is holding
Ooh,
this mid right there. Oh, not able to stop the back. Yeah, able to pull off the back there.
it did pop, but it was like that last like 0.25 seconds or so before where you're almost invulnerable if you don't die. Um, pretty fortunate. I mean, that would have sucked if his back got recalled because it would have ruined his tempo pretty badly. Fortunately, he's able to recall and come back. So not, all's well that ends well. It's not the worst thing that I've seen happen to people.
Yeah, I
Um,
think funny enough, I think that's the first time we popped up top lane, and the Scion has been up in HP. So I don't know, is this a turning point maybe? For these two, like, look, he does have the Spectre's Cal, so I think that kind of helps when it comes against playing against that Mordekaiser. What do you think, or was it just a moment where we
it's
just
just a
happened to see
moment.
Scion be up HP?
It's
Oh yeah,
just
because
a
we look back, here we
moment.
go, and he's
Yeah.
down again.
Well, it might get
Cusco
equalized,
here for the
but
gank.
ooh, and it's Brazil time.
Oh
And
my goodness, that is a lot of damage coming out quick. Mortar probably going to be okay here. He is near his turret, so Mordekaiser's going to have to take this. Now you might be in trouble, my friend. Cusco is here. TP coming in. Who is that TPing? I'm assuming that's the Silas TPing in. Mordekaiser, you just have to stay alive for your Silas to get here. Not able to do that long enough. Silas is going to show up, use the Shyvana ultimate to jump on top of the Scion. He's going to be under turret now. It's now Shyvana against Shyvana kills Shyvana, funnily enough. No, that's a double kill now for Cusco. Really, really great play by the Cusco. That was an interesting TPN. I like the idea to use the Shyvana ult to jump over and secure the kill, but giving that double kill over to Cusco, that is probably the last member of this team you want to give a double kill, as we see Red on the other side of the map taking the second Drake, and Ocean Drake this time. Very, very good for the team, but I don't know, man. The double kill for Cusco could be good.
Yeah, it's tough. It kind of feels like Mordekaiser didn't really know exactly what he wanted to do there. He ults Scion and he's like beating on Scion, which is great, right? But it feels like if you're ganked and you've ulted the Scion, at this point you either need to commit for this Scion kill and go all in to try and kill him and then get an isolated 1v1, or you just need to bail immediately. Because when he popped out of Brazil, took his flight back home, he was not exactly too far away, which
But we
means
see
he
Jarvan
just
again,
gets
jumps on
hit.
top of the Senna. They're both able to flash out, so they're both going to live this time, but now both of those flashes are down. Sorry, continue. I apologize. I just
Yeah.
wanted to get into that.
Yeah, really important timer. So, J4 just types in, they get flash at like 18 minutes, and I'll be back way before then, as we see another gank happening top.
Yep, Shyvana on top of Mordekaiser again, my friend. I think you are in trouble here. Is that going to be another kill given over to Shyvana? The ultimate comes out. Mordekaiser now down, and that's going to be all she wrote for Fuzz there. 0-2 now on the Mordekaiser. Doing a really good job early, was up, but ever since Cusco's kind of come online, the Shyvana ultimate has been a danger. He is kind of translating that ultimate into kills, and it's looking really good for him right now. Of course, Victor Schneider in the mid lane still in a really good position, up almost 43 CS, up 43 CS now.
Yeah, he is. And I think the real tragedy here is not actually top lane. If you look at the CS numbers, 10 CS difference, 19 CS difference for jungle, that's a little sad. 40 CS difference in the mid lane. Silas is not having fun here, and this CS lead is basically a kill and a half, which means Victor has not been pressured enough. And when it comes to these mid late game team fights, you're gonna Enchanted
Oh
Crystal
yeah, a little bit
Arrow
of a
stops
gaze.
the culling.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. That Coling does so much damage though.
Yeah, as I was saying though, you're gonna have a massive Victor who's just gonna be an issue. And now the real issue is like, can you get to everyone? Because if you can't, like this Victor might just tear your team apart. And this time
Yeah.
it's J4. Oh, how the turns have tabled.
Oh, Shyvana is here as well. We're gonna get a little 2v2 action. Scion though is down below half HP, still inside of that Mordekaiser ulti. That is soon to wear off though. Shyvana's gonna be able to jump into this and help now. Mordekaiser's gonna wanna back off. Scion getting really low. That's a death, and now Shyvana is in trouble. The ulti out over the Jarvan wall. That's gonna get him safely out of there. Scion, unfortunately, I don't think you're gonna be able to pick up the Jarvan kill. That was a good 2v2 I think, for the side of VIP there. A little bit of action there. Unfortunately, Scion not quite tanky enough to live long enough to get out of that. What do you call it? Sending him to Brazil.
Nicaragua. um, Also important to note that the death of Scion there means that the Herald is getting conceded to VIP here. Really nice for them. They can use that to potentially crack mid, give Silas some more agency to roam around the map and make a difference. And just super important. I'm really interested to see where this J4 puts the Herald, as a Mountain Drake's coming up as well. So you could see the Herald being used to potentially crack a tower or something. Or you could just say, hey, Herald mid, we take drag, you get to choose what you want to do. And a lot of people in that situation would just choose the Herald, which means it can snipe you a free drag. If you get a free drag, you are staring down the barrel of like a 17 minutes. You have soul point, and that means like Baron spawning as soul point spawning for VIP, which can lead to really troublesome outcomes for a Cuddle Party
Yeah,
here.
I think VIP right now is in a pretty decent position. Obviously, they're down a tiny bit of gold. I think that's negligible. Most of that's in that mid lane there.
Mhm.
But I do feel like VIP are on a slight timer, right? You mentioned a
Yes.
little bit of how Victor in the late game is really strong, and I noticed that our main man, the Beard himself, Ryline, mentioned it in the Twitch chat. But this Ash, we've seen it lately. Like the longer the game goes on, Ash all of a sudden becomes a monster at dealing with some of these champions like Jarvan and like Mordekaiser. So
Mhm.
I think there's a little bit of a timer here for VIP where they need to either get a big lead, as we see Shyvana ulti in on top of it. Of course, the the Silas just steals the Shyvana ulti and ults himself to safety. Um, but I do think that timer is important, right? I think the longer this game goes on, the more danger they're going to be in, and we see as it stands right now, blue side, Cuddle Party taking the dragon. It looks like they're going to be able to take it almost uncontested.
Oh no,
Red
this is a
side
double
TPing in, but it's
DP.
a little bit late. I
It's
think it's a little bit
late.
too late.
Oh no, that is actually terrible because losing those TPs loses your pressure. And what comes up in 2.5 minutes? Baron, which means now you might be in a situation where you could have really stretched the map and tried to give yourself a Baron opportunity. Instead, they're a day late and $1 short for a dragon, which is just super unfortunate. Not only that, it's a Mountain Drake, probably the last thing you want to see a Scion stacking. It's so
Yeah,
obnoxious.
yeah. We did see that tower taken in the bot side now. So Lucian and Emilio did a really great job in this bot lane, right? They did
Hmm.
exactly what Lucian and Emilio is supposed to do. They took over the early game piece of this. Now we're probably gonna see a lane swap, right? We're 18 minutes in it, so we'll probably see them
Yeah.
go towards the mid lane there. And I think as we see as we see a Scion engage here, the ulti across over the tower. Mordekaiser though takes Shyvana into the other dimension there. Shyvana does great flash over the wall by Cusco there, but I don't think you're going to be able to survive, my friend. You are dead, and now Sion is in a unfortunate situation, 1v3. He might be able to flash over the wall, but Mordekaiser is going to
Oh
chase him.
no,
That
is Schneider
Sion, you are going to be
overextended?
dead.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think he could probably get out. The flash does help. Senna is there as well to kind of help deter them from chasing them down. Of course, it's a Victor. You don't want to chase
Oh!
Victor too far. Oh my goodness,
Wow,
what a
what a
flash!
flashy hue!
Unfortunately,
Wow!
Snyder, all of that you did, you are not going to be able to get out of there, my friend. I am sorry.
Wow! Dude,
VIP
VIP owns
challengers.
Stunner a beer there. That guy is crazy. What a good flash. And you know why he does that? Because Baron's in a minute. It feels almost impossible for Cuddle Party to properly get the vision. So you can choke out the vision here, take a tower, you're going to have Prio mid, and then they're going to have to walk into a team that is 2k gold up on them. Get your tempo backs now.
I mean, that's a pretty good swing. That's the kind of swing I was talking about that VIP challengers needed, right? Where they
Mm-hmm.
use their early game advantage to, kind of push their lead ahead. And now they've kind of done that. But I got to be honest with you, it's already 20 minutes in, and I'm not sure. I don't know. It's still, I still think that Cuddle Party have a pretty good shot in this game. They still got that third dragon, their first dragon, but the third dragon of the
Mm-hmm.
game on their side. And to me, they don't look like they're worried about it at all, right? They're still
Yeah.
pushing these waves down. Victor, obviously, needs to be careful in that bot side, right? Kind of being down there alone. But obviously has the TP up, and I think that's where Cuddle Party has their advantage. You mentioned it earlier. The Baron is up at the moment, and now they have those TPs. So like, you know. I don't know how they'll be able to make the play happen, but there's a world where they could, potentially take this Baron, right? Using that teleport advantage, it would be really tough. They would probably need to get a pick first, but I think it's possible. And they
Yeah.
have a little bit of time too. Those two teleports are still pretty far away from coming up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they took their backs a little late, which means Senna kind of just walked in and got plenty of vision back, which means you aren't facing a worst case scenario as Cuddle Party where you're walking in blind to a Baron that's potentially getting taken. And for like what feels like the 20th time this game, Mordekaiser's again under threat.
Oh yeah, Shyvana. I mean, he's kind of lived in this top lane this game, and honestly, I like that a lot. We don't see that a lot as we see Lucian take another turret. They're doing such a great job with that. The culling does come down, Senna. You're taking a ton of damage. You need to get out of there.
Oh
No,
no.
the
Oh.
Jarvan. Oh my goodness, he does step back up
Woo!
in, and they take down the Lucian Victor. So much damage. Holy crap. So the little traded kill there, they does pick up the Ash, but that Victor, man, you mentioned it earlier, so strong. He's still up 40 CS. And that CS, while you may be down 2 kills to the Silas, that 40 CS makes a huge difference.
Yes, it really does. And you see, Victor's got his 2 item spike. He has the Proto Belt, which will really help him in keeping safe from that Silas. He can use it to kind of dash around and do his thing. And he's got the Blackfire Torch. So he is going to tickle just a little. More importantly, I believe he has gotten his slow upgrade, which means every hit he does on you, it's like a mini Raleigh is built in. It becomes a struggle, and oh my god, look at the
Yeah.
damage Mordekaiser's taking trying to hit Scion.
Yeah. That might have been a little, a little bit of a mistake there, Mordekaiser. I mean, he is pushing him away now, but that Brazil is gonna, whatever you call it, taking him to the other dimension, to Brazil, is gonna run out eventually. Scion, are you gonna be able to get out of here, my friend? You are getting really low. I don't think so. That lasts forever. Holy crap!
it
How long was he? How long was he in there? I
it
felt like I was
wasn't
gonna
it
run out
wasn't
of
too
air.
long, but it's just when you stand in front of Scion, what can he do to get away? Oh no, he's getting ulted on. No, the
Yep, there
anti
he is.
synergy.
Shyvana. Oh, they missed the Ash arrow. That's okay. You can't hit all of them. The ulti in was good, as we see a TP in as well. Silas also TPing in. We're going to see a little bit of a fight here, I think. I don't know if there's enough members of VIP here to really engage here. It's just Mordekaiser, it's just Silas. We're waiting for the Lucian and Emilio to come up. When they do, though, they'll be in a little bit better of a position, I think.
Yeah, hopefully they will be. Lots of trades going down, and Mordekaiser's still like desperately keeping his advantage. He's got 100 gold shutty, which is pretty nice. But if you're VIP, you gotta kind of feel the timer counting down. Like this Shyvana is just gonna get tankier. She's done building her items that do almost nothing to contribute to her defenses. Obviously, Dusk and Dawn helps a little bit, but Kraken literally does nothing to help you. Now you're going to see Shyvana building massive survivability items while also benefiting from her passive. So her durability will start exponentially going higher, and it'll start becoming an issue for this Lucian to cut through her. He'll still cut through her pretty easily, but once she finishes, I believe she's probably building um, Death's Dance. Like it's gonna get tough. It's just gonna get a little tough as we see Schneider
You see
getting
a little
caught.
Jarvan ulti on top of it. That's 3 members of VIP there. Unfortunately, Victor, you are really strong, but you
Is that a
are not that
Baron?
tanky. So I mean, it certainly could be. I mean, they don't. Mordekaiser has TP, so if blue side, if Cuddle Party tries
Uh
to do
oh,
like a
TP's
3v4 or
coming.
something here, he can't TP in. Sion is TPing in. Mordekaiser already halfway there though. Doesn't even really need to use the TP. I don't think he's going to be able
Enchanted
to be there.
Crystalero.
Baron does do a lot of damage, though. Jarvan does engage. Okay, you're here kind of alone. The Culling comes out. Not going to be able to do too much damage. Ash, though, you are in a terrible position there. Silas able to pick the Ash up quickly. That's both ADCs dead. Jarvan really low. Shyvana really low. The question is, which one's going to fall first? It's Cusco. Unfortunately, Mordekaiser able to really take care of things there. Sion now left alone in a 1v4. There's a lot of low members of VIP here, but I don't think Sion is doing enough damage at the moment to be able to kill them. Great pickup by Vancouver Impact there. They do win the fight. They're not going to get the Baron, but they do, kind of turn that fight around. Honestly, I thought they were in a little bit of trouble there because the Baron was just doing so much damage to them, but they were able to kind of, weather that storm and go 1 for 3. Now they can just reset with their team fight win, and they're in a pretty good position at this point. They have 3 dragons. They're up 4K gold. I think they can probably bait another Baron fight right here if they really want to.
Yeah, I was about to say, good news for Cuddle Party. You stopped the Baron. Bad news. At what cost? Because it feels like it cost them a little too much, an arm and a leg even, as they lose a lot of people stopping that Baron. And yes, they're low, but guess who gets to redeploy, set up vision, and start going for it first? Well, it's VIP. You can already see J4's taking more river control. The dragon is up in 2 minutes, and probably the only thing worse than a Baron threat is there being 2 objectives on the map, both of which are extremely impactful for Vancouver Impact, and you not being able to properly defend both of them. Even worse, Scion TP'd to that fight, Mordekaiser fat walked to that fight, which means you're going to see a bit of a disparity. It's going to be tough for Cuddle Party to be everywhere where they need to be at once, and they really need to play this sharply to get a
Yeah.
foothold back into this game.
VIP have a window here where Pigeon and Fuzz will both have their teleports up, while um, the Mortar's teleport will still be down. Now they still have Schneider's teleport, so you could say, Victor, we want you to side lane, but
Oh,
who are you gonna side lane is gonna we see Lucian doing a ton of damage to center right there.
Fortunately, you are Senna. You get to press the Q button and get all your health back, but yeah, that hurts. That
Yeah, those
Lucian,
those callings. Whew.
he tickles. He may only be 3 kills, but he tickles. Massive props, by the way, to Silas, who we were talking about how he was down so much CS, still down about 30. But when you have 7 kills, being down 30 CS just doesn't hurt as bad as it used to.
Yeah, Pigeon. I was gonna. This is why earlier I was gonna say something about his teleport usage because we saw two teleports in a row kind of wasted, but I decided not to because at the time he was like 5-1. I was like, well, they may look wasted, but they turned into 5 kills somehow. So I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But yeah, dude, doing a great job on the Silas. And we mentioned it, right? He has a lot of good options, but I think that Shyvana ult, he's used it really well. In some
Yeah,
moments, he's been able to protect himself and also kind of get onto these kind of squishies really easily. So, just doing a great job at his, ulti, the at the ults that he's kind of stealing, selecting them. He's doing a really good job at that. So, props
yeah.
to Mr. Pigeon right now.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things of properly playing stuff like Silas and Viego where you're stealing enemy champs. You have to be feeling pretty proficient and uh-oh.
Uh,
Ooh.
Oh, the Janet arrow comes down. Jarvan, I don't know if that's the position you want to be in. Great ulti by Shyvana on top of the Milio. That's a ton of damage that Shyvana does. Unfortunately for him, Milio is able to get out, and now you're in a terrible position. Well, I just talked about the TP usage by Pigeon, and that was a great usage of that TP. Able to get right in behind that Shyvana. Go ahead and take that out. Now we see the ulti in by Silas there. The Shyvana able to pick up the kill there by Lucian, able to pick up the kill thanks to that ulti there. And that is Cuddle Party on the run. A lot of damage coming out by VIP challengers right now. And I don't know at this point, we talked about needing to pull out an advantage in these first 20 25 minutes. I was a little concerned at 20 minutes about where they are, but I'm eating my own words right now because they are kind of running this game over.
Really proactive, really well thought out proactive play. You saw kind of the weak points where Mordekaiser was getting ganked by Shyvana. So what does Stunner do in that situation? I'm going to camp top two. I know Shyvana's coming here. I'm going to camp top. We're going to regank. We're going to get the fights we want while we're strong. And it just kind of snowballed in all of these advantageous fights for VIP challengers. And now it's just looking brutal. It's a mountain drake. A mountain drake. The shielding on each person in a game where every point of damage is so important. The mountain drake can make all the difference, and you deny Sion the ability to stack mountains, which really helps in letting your Lucian, who's an ADC, so he has a base ability to, but he's not known for being like a tank shredder, right? So it really helps in denying Sion's stats that he pretty desperately needs, and we are beginning to see the
Uh-oh.
stages of a siege.
Shyvana
Uh-oh.
getting around behind this Lucian. This could be the moment that they need. Lucian taken out. Nutty one, you were in
Shredder's
just
dying on the
not a good
side.
decision there. Oh my goodness! They're gonna continue this Cusco though. You might don't overstay your welcome here. You wanna back off just a little bit there. You got the kill you needed. You don't want to overdo it. Stunner though, jump on top of them. That's an Ash automatically taken down. That's a lot of damage so fast. Silas, unfortunately, you're not gonna be able to
Right into
escape. I don't think you're
Mordekaiser.
gonna kill. Oh. My goodness, they're
Oh,
just going back and forth here. Mordekaiser are really strong at this point in the game, able to take down. That's a 2-for-2 trade for teams right now.
Sion
Both
TP
teams, though,
behind.
really low. Sion is behind. He's not low, though. Full health HP. Pigeon, no, I don't think they're going to go for it. There's not enough damage, I don't think. They don't have enough damage to deal with this right now. So maybe just going to kind of back off there. So both teams in a very similar position. A couple of players, low on HP, Pigeon and Fuzz. Yeah, well, I said Fuzz, but all of a sudden he's back to 75% HP. Goodness gracious.
Oh my. What an interesting fight. And I think the real unfortunate part, you see two one plate towers there with bounties on them that you really like as Cuddle Party. Unfortunately, they're unable to force when they were kind of in an advantage state. A bit of a reset. You just saw Lucian get a little too greedy for a tower there, and he's perfectly punished by Cuddle Party. Can't afford to give too many of those up. Fortunately, the damage was limited by the play that the rest of the team made. But you can see there's a lot of catch on this Cuddle Party team, and they're certainly not going to go down accepting it. They will be fighting tooth and claw for every bit of the way VIP is going to be taking the rest of this game.
Yeah, they do have the. Look, I think the biggest thing to see here, blue side, despite being kind of on the back seat here, they're doing a pretty decent job with their ward coverage, right?
Mm.
Like right now, that pink ward at the top there, in the top of the river, as we see a TP in by Mordekaiser, like that's gonna help them at least kind of get an idea that of what's going on, in half of the river.
Sion forced to walk. He
Uh,
might not get here in time for the Baron as Mordekaiser forced to TP up to make it happen. Look at the kind of funneling of Cuddle Party here as the Baron dance begins.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming out of the Baron. We see Mordekaiser walk up into the front, is able to pick up PSO1 there. They're going to be in a 1v1 kind of situation there. Great ulti by Sunnar to pick up Snyder and Jmont there. Jmont getting really low. Fuzz able to pick up the kill onto Ash. Good job there. Stunner now dead. That's a 1-for-1 so far. Cusco though on that backside, able to pick up the Lucian, able to pick up the Milio, and all of a sudden, Cuddle Party is looking pretty good. Pigeon though, still pretty strong, but you're in a situation now. It's Sion and Jmont that Senna, despite being on support, still does a little bit of damage. So does the Sion. Cusco, though, not able to get into the help, but I don't think he's going to need it. And a clean ace for the side of Cuddle Party here, and not what I expected at all there.
This is going to be a massive, massive gold swings. As you see, the bounties are still were still up for a second. They just fell off, but look, the bounties fell off. It is now a less than 1k gold difference, or right about 1k, 1.1. As wow, what a fight out of Cuddle Party! Really precisely managing to split the team in two, and then allow Shyvana to basically just destroy that backline, tearing apart Lucian and Milio. Really want to give props to Sion and Shyvana there for being able to wedge the team in two like that. However, Cuddle Party is not out of the woods just yet because there's an Elder Drake in a minute, and it feels like whoever gets this Elder Drake is probably going to win this game. It
Well,
is super important.
I gotta be honest with you. I was convinced that they were gonna win. That VIP was gonna win that last team fight when Mordekaiser had Ash right inside of the other dimension right away. But thinking back on it right now, like I think Mordekaiser has to realize at this point, Ash is not the target that he should do that with yet. I think the Victor or even potentially Shyvana or Senna might be a better option at the moment, right? As we see an engage on top of the Mordekaiser right now, that's a lot of damage. He does use the Zonia's there, but I think that that's going to be a dead Mordekaiser there. Big advantage for Cuddle Party, and all of a sudden, I know you mentioned that they're still kind of maybe in the driver's seat, but it's looking like Cuddle Party has figured out their momentum here. All of a sudden, the swing is up, them being up 2k gold. The
Oh
soul
wow.
is. Oh my goodness, great ulti by Shyvana. A lot of damage coming out. Shyvana take it down really quick. And what is this? What has happened, man? Not even take it down. PSO1, the red turret does go down, so they are able to pick that up. Hopefully these remaining members can get out. Um, it's crazy. They just keep throwing back and forth and back and forth. I I don't really know what to say, guys. You didn't need to do all that. You were in a perfect advantage, Snyder. You are in a lot of trouble here, my friend. That's a lot of damage coming out, though. That's 3 members below half HP, but I don't think you're gonna be able to win this one, man. That's a 3v1. Yep, taking
And
down
Elder is
Pigeon
looking
now.
very takeable.
Oh yeah, they
This
can
is
easily take this Elder.
this is brutal. It was VIP throwing a Baron fight and Cuddle Party playing it immaculately. They just get a little too excited, eager to end, eager to push their advantage. They overextend into VIP's base and they're like, you know what? We've had too much fun. You can have it. And they just
I
hand the
just
game right back over to VIP.
I
Very
just don't
crazy
know
turn of
why.
events.
I don't know why they went under the turret. That was
Yeah.
so unnecessary.
And
Oh
we've
man.
been talking about it. Every minute this game goes by is a minute that is benefiting Cuddle Party because it feels like VIP is a really good ham sandwich. It's got a shelf life. Eventually, the bread gets stale, the meat goes off, the cheese gets moldy, whatever. Right? While we've got a fine wine in Cuddle Party where the longer it goes on, the better it gets. Well, you just smashed your wine over the table and tried to stab him with the bottle, and look where it's gotten you. It's gotten you down an Elder. It's a really tough clawback here for a Cuddle Party. They need to try to avoid bleeding away inhibs because it'll ruin their ability to walk around the map properly while also trying to avoid fights with VIP. The only thing
Yeah.
I can say is I really don't like VIP being in their own jungle when you have Elder. It feels like you need to be striking now. Your jungler needs to be contributing to forcing pushes. And because Mordekaiser has to sit here, you see he's sitting back. He doesn't know where Cuddle Party is. And because the rest of VIP wasn't pushing until just recently, he had to play safe. Now the lane pushes aren't synced. You can see Mordekaiser has to catch this wave while they're clapping the tower on the other side. Mordekaiser's not going to reach the tower at the same time. He's just a little behind. We'll see if that matters. We'll see how Cuddle Party tries to respond to the siege that is brewing.
I mean, there's some good wave clear on the side of Cuddle Party here, so
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to, kind of manage. If VIP had Baron here, Baron empowered minions here too, it'd probably be a little bit different. But I
Mhm.
think Cuddle Party has enough wave clear to be able to survive this. Now, this Ashe versus Mordekaiser in the bot lane, I think that's a mistake.
To be fair, he ulted her twice and died both times, so maybe they know something we don't. As oh my god, Fuss takes another massive amount of damage from Ashe. Oh god. Not like
I could,
this,
I
man.
the 1A and 6 Ashe, all of a sudden, I 1v1ing the Mordekaiser. I guess I'm wrong. I didn't expect that. I thought ADCs were in a bad position or something, but apparently they're 1v1ing Mordekaiser able. So some of you ADCs out there, you may need to go back and figure out, maybe download the VOD of this game and figure out how that just happened.
Get off Reddit. Start watching the bots.
Yeah, exactly. Uh,
But in all seriousness, I think Mordekaiser just got way too optimistic there. He just walked in and took 3 tower shots for no reason. And unfortunately, if this is not League Classic where the towers are suggestions. Like, you gotta be careful, man. The towers hurt around here. And
oh yeah.
the Elder is like well on its way to running out if it hasn't already. And I honestly, truly don't know if VIP took enough. I don't
I
know
don't
if
think.
they've taken enough at all.
I mean, when you look at it, if anything, they have an exposed inhib, and Cuddle Party still has all three of their inner turrets. So I mean, there's 3 minutes until the next Elder. Baron is up in 30 seconds. I think VIP. They obviously have vision control because they have the Elder and all that right now. They may be able to snatch up this
Elder is
Baron,
gone, I
but
believe.
using their Elder, they were
Yeah.
able to get the vision control, and so they're in an advantageous position. But once that Elder wears off, like you said, I honestly feel like this between Scion and Shyvana, that's a lot of beefy people. Like they may be able to win these team fights still. I think we're 40 minutes in. We talked about your fine wine analogy. I think we're at a point now where even Ashe, who is 1 and 8, can really put out a ton of damage, and we see those autos coming out really fast. That's usually a pretty good sign.
Yeah. And Scion is like taking no damage from this Lucian. Lucian's damage is becoming more and more of a suggestion, even with all his items being built. Lucian's not getting much stronger from here until he sells his starter item. This is starting to get a little worrisome. The only good thing is you're kind of forcing Cusco in a position where he can't really farm big camps and continue stacking his armor and MR. He's got to walk around, fly with the team. But I think there's going to be a devastating team fight, and I think it's going to be soon.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, VIP is looking for it. They want the team fight. It seems like Cuddle Party is content with kind of just baiting them around the map here. Cusco, though, kind of off on his own with that Silas. I don't know if he wins a
Oh,
1v1 here. He may have to get out of there. A lot of damage coming out right now. Another one. Snyder
Schneider,
taken
no!
down. Great pickup. And all of a sudden, Cuddle Party is in a terrible position. You definitely not going to win a 5v4, not without your Victor. Someone doing a ton of damage. Cusco, though, he is able to make it away from Pigeon there. That is at least one saving grace for them. But now all of a sudden, VIP in the driver's seat again, right? Like they're probably going to be able to take the inhib and maybe 2 inhibs, right? Even some of their wave clear for the side of Cuddle Party dead. Like Victor is a very integral part to what they're doing, and without him alive right now, I feel like VIP can just go take the Baron, set up their vision again for the Elder, and I don't know, man. This game right here. So I saw someone in the chat earlier say someone's doing it. They're doing it for the audience, and I feel that way now, man. It's a back and
I
forth right
I
here.
am feeling hashtag blessed with content right now. This has kind of been a roller coaster of the game. We were talking some people in the Discord were saying this is going to be a content-filled game. 41 minutes. Game 1, 41 minutes. Like, how can you not be happy? Even better, the Elder's up, and we might see a massive team fight predicated on who gets this Elder as Mordekaiser begins to walk
Oh
in for
my
the
goodness,
interrupt.
here we go. Mordekaiser does TP in, but he's not going to be there on time. Elder is going to go over to Cuddle Party. What is going on? What is going on, man? You get the Baron, but you lose the Elder, and that honestly is not the trade you want to do. You're in a very bad position right there, Fuzz. You are all alone, my friend. You are going to go down.
I am so
The mortar
bad.
on top of stunner, that culling. Oh, that's culling still does a lot of damage. That's a half HP Scion off of one culling, so be a little careful there. Oh my god. So the oh goodness, the elder over to Cuddle Party there. What a great trade. I don't know who made that call, but that dude has some. I don't know if I could say that on
Some
Twitch, man, but
titaniums. Some
that
titaniums.
dude's got cojones the size of Earth, man. That is nuts, dude. Because had anyone really had there been 2 or 3 members of a VIP near Elder there, I think that would have been a huge mistake. But they got there so quick and did it so quick. That was insane.
Yeah, and they picked up a Mordecai. They picked up a side of Mordekaiser with it too. As Mordekaiser, I will say, for like the 4th time in a row, ulted Ashe, and it was extremely unfruitful. Brother, pick someone else. Like, just pick Senna, take a dub. It's just getting a little sad to watch as my poor guy is just suffering in his own realm, in his own vacation home. And now VIP feels very on the back foot, even though they're up an inhibitor as the game swings back into an only 3 to 4k gold difference when everyone's got 80k. 3k is just a drop in the bucket, and this is just I said it was going to be a 40 some minute game. We might be crawling to 50 as we don't get another round of objectives for 4 minutes, and it looks like everyone's repositioning again. Oh,
I mean, VIP is trying to make some make some space here in the mid wave. They're pushing in that with those super minions pretty far. I think that's a good idea, but here we are. They're recalling. So like you said, 3-4 minutes for the next objective. We're looking at what 47, 48 minutes by the time the team fight ends. This is going to be a 50-minute game. I venture to say maybe 55 minutes, right?
And you see Cusco in chat realizing what's happening. Woohoo! They type in chat. Yeah, thanks for the content. I guess I do. I have found the cure for jet lag, monster. You get 2 freaks, force you into 3 50-minute games.
That is looking like what's about to happen here, man. I'm going to be honest with you. As we see a little bit of a brawl here in the bottom side river. Just trying to fight over some vision, maybe. I don't think that Cuddle Party wants to fight. They look like they're trying to get out of there. So probably not going to see anything sort of too crazy yet. Victor kind of running back to make a little bit of poke there. Scion and Fuzz in the side lane here. Oh, the ult. Is that an ulti? Okay, here we go. VIP Pigeon does go in on the back line. You're alone, though, my friend. 2 Zhonya's there in the middle of the fight. Lots of damage coming out on the side of Schneider. You are dead, my friend. Lucian doing a great job jumping around inside of there. That's a double kill for the Lucian. Cusco is down as well. Pigeon getting really low. There's 3 members left for the side of Cuddle Party, and all 5 members remaining for VIP. Great engage there. Fuzz did a great job that time, I think, on the Mordekaiser. You mentioned picking anyone besides the Ashe there, and as soon as he does, he picked somebody out. Obviously, I don't think he killed the person that he picked out, but he was able to get them out of the fight, and all of a sudden, VIP and back in the driver's seat now, despite losing the Elder, they're gonna take the other inhib. Fuzz and
Enchanted
Nutty One a
Crystal.
little bit engaged on. Nah, I don't think they. I just don't think they have enough. Oh my goodness! What a flash forward by Nutty One to kill Ashe immediately. Scion though, so tanky, man. But I don't know if you're gonna be able to stay alive there. That is a turret dive there. Those 2 turrets though shooting out onto Pigeon and a Nutty One there. That's a lot of damage coming out. Senna also doing a lot of damage. Fuzz getting really low. The Zonia is able to keep him alive and redirect the turret to somebody else. So that's gonna be very helpful. Jarvan is here, ulti on top of the Mordekaiser. You are going to die now, my friend. Able to, with the afterlife, though, maybe able to kind of push them off here and extend this game a little bit longer. Schneider is here as well. A couple of members back into the fight here. So It's only one. It's only two down now. Oh my god, a lot of damage coming out, dude. This Victor is very strong. Stunner able to jump inside and kind of save his ADC there. Lucian doing, oh my goodness, he's godlike now. Lucian picking up the double kill. I thought he was dead there, but he resurrected. He came back and he picked up another double kill and a triple kill over to him. And VIP gonna claim this game. That was insane. Nutty One made up for that overstep earlier. He stepped out of bounds there just for a minute earlier. If you remember, I called him out a little bit on it. But it doesn't matter. Right here, right now, he's gonna show that he is an ADC to look out for. 13-4 on this Lucian.
That was a crazy game. Oh my gosh. Whew.
Look at that, 90K gold for each of these teams. That's insane. 46 minutes later, and I don't even know how many lead changes there were, 6 or 7, just in the last 15 minutes or so.
I might be a broken man after that one, bro. That was some crazy work. Really crazy work. Just
Dude, no, look at that. Look at the damage. 65,000 damage for Lucian. It just came. I thought he was going to be kind of weak in the late game. I thought the Ashe was going to come online and really kind of take things over. But Lucian, dude, he was picking them up left and right, dashing in and out, just popping those double shots off to claim those final kills and put out a ton of damage. Hats off to Nutty One in that one, man. That dude was insane. You know, I think they kind of traded up. Silas carried the early game for them, and Nutty One kind of said, you know what? Thanks for bringing me here, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this one over.
yeah, absolutely true. And just man, man. What do you say after a banger like that? That was just crazy all around, honestly. As we um just see a beautiful game. Beautiful game. So so full of content. Wow. Wow. As yeah, I just I'm just shocked, honestly. I don't really know what else to say. They really took us along for a ride there.
Dude,
Uh,
I honestly thought at some point that Victor was just going to be so strong that based on like
yeah.
the champions on the other team between Silas, Milio, Lucian, and even Jarvan, not super tanky, right? Like all the time. Like I thought there was going to be a point where Victor was just going to blow everybody up, but that point just never seemed to really materialize. And and this and the Lucian just they just were able to track him down. I mean, between Emilio keeping him alive, Jarvan keeping people off of, using that ulti to kind of pin down one or two members, all the CC that they have, like it just it never worked out that they were able to kill either the Silas and Lucian at the same time, and so there was just always one of those two up just to deal so much damage.
Yeah. Absolutely true. Well, guys, if you think you were starved for content, they are already telling me that they are ready for draft number 2. They are not holding back. They're eager, chomping at the bit to do another one. So we are immediately going to hop into draft number 2. Whew. Oh my goodness. What are you doing if you're a Cuddle party here, Monster? What are you trying to adjust in your pick to make sure lightning doesn't strike you?
I think one of the main things in that last game, like I think they did most things that they needed to do right, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
they got to the late game portion, they got to where they wanted to be. The issue is there was never just enough resources on the Ashe and even the Victor there. Most of the I felt like Cusco kind of in the early game, he took those first 3 or 4 kills, and obviously
Mm-hmm.
that's great. Like he got those ganks off in the top lane really early. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if playing to the Scion side was the right move there, right? Like Scion is a champion that is, especially. Yeah, I know maybe you said he was countered, but like Scion is a champion that, in my opinion, is not necessarily uh can play by itself. It doesn't necessarily need all the help. And you play towards your Ash and you play towards your Victor there in the early game. So in this game, honestly the main thing I'm looking for is for Cusco to kind of play towards the bot side as we see the Ziggs locked in early, right? And I think that's a pretty common pick nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think for Cuddle Party, man, honestly, I don't know about the specific picks. What I want to see is Cusco play towards that ADC and that mid laner and really try to give some resources over there. Obviously, depending on the picks, maybe they pick something a little more hyper carry in the top lane. If we see a Trendemir up there, those ganks would have been a little better off, I think. But um, for me, I look out for Cusco to play someone who can really kind of help his mid and bot get ahead. As we see, is the Xerath counter? Is that APC Xerath?
Oh my God, it's a bard.
Is that a? Yeah. So I'm assuming that's APC Xerath, right? Because then the bard can spend all the time roaming because Xerath can farm from really far away. Is that what I'm
Yeah.
getting out of this? I don't
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
Puddle Party
And
bringing out some interesting picks here early.
well, I was going to question the Senna pick. I think Senna was pretty useless that last game. No offense to the support of Cuddle Party. Nothing. I don't think they played bad per se. I just didn't really like the Senna pick because it felt like a lot of times she was just there to die with Ash when J4 initiated. So I like something that you can kind of walk around and do some damage with Bard. You got a lot of tricky plays. You can use Bard R. I believe it's Tempered Fate, Fate's Call, one of those two, um, to do some good damage. As we see the Maokai potentially as supporter jungle. Looks like it's Maokai support by jungle. As the picks start falling, Shen gets picked up. You're not banning my global this time, mister. I saw you ban Poppy. I raise you a Shen. And now that the Shen's picked, you can ban his largest counters in lane, and Bess is one of them because she doesn't care about autoing as much. She likes to hit you with abilities. And now Shen gets a potentially safe lane with his counters banned
Hold
out, and he gets to ult around the map and just do a lot of work.
Hold on. I'm like relatively sure that that's gonna be Shen Jungle. That's Kuko's
Ooh.
most played champion. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Shen jungler. I mean, they can obviously flex at top two, but I am almost certain that is Shen jungle.
I am a Shen jungle lover, so I'm a big fan of it. His early clear can be a little painful at times, but he can do a lot of work, and there's no better gank than TPing on a guy who's getting engaged on and then taunting everyone. Shen has a lot of potential in the jungle, and I love him. And he also works as a decent counterbalance to Vi. If you see, Cuddle Party has two ways to make Vi engage completely dead in the water. He can ult, which turns it Zanya's everyone basically, which means that the Vi is not going to connect properly. Or the Shen ult with the massive shield can kind of deny Vi the blow up. However, because the danger is Ziggs Vi means that Vi can ult someone. She uses her slam, and then Ziggs just throws the Giga Bomb right on top of your feet, and then you're gonna fall in the center of the bomb because you have nowhere to move. So a lot
One
of counters
interest
being taken to that engage.
one interesting thing to say about the draft right now is Pigeon's Akali is not banned at this moment. So there
Ooh.
is a chance that we get to see Pigeon play Akali.
And you see a
Just
lot
waiting. I'm
top
just waiting.
potentially. If Cusco is going Shen jungle, both of them can swap. And the people that counter Shen don't always counter Olaf. He brings a very different skill set to the mix, and Olaf jungle is a thing. So it's kind of a nice top jungle duo here where you suspect the Shen's jungle and Olaf is top, but you can't be for sure. So if you overcommit to one, you get punished by the other. Renekton's kind of just blind. He can do decently against Shen if he properly times things because he does do good damage with stuff like his Q. And he can trade a bit with Olaf, though I do think he might be a little bit weaker into that Olaf, especially if the Olaf is able to get
Ari.
some items. Ari,
I
wow.
do like Ari. That is one of my favorite mid lane champions personally,
Oof.
Uh, but I that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting. Look, I was looking for one of two things. Either either the Akali or an AD type champion like Yone or Yasuo or something because of the Ziggs pick. But the Ari lock in is awesome as we see the
Oh,
Cassiopeia
Cassio.
counter, and isn't that's a bad matchup for Ari, right?
Well, it's kind of a skill matchup. Here's the thing: Ari loves being mobile, and Cassio loves crapping on your mobility with her W because she can drop the little puddles at the ground just like Singe does. It grounds you. You get grounded. Grounded, son. Your grades are too bad, and that means no R's for you. you, which means you could be in a ton of trouble very quickly. However, Cassiopeia is very short ranged, which means Ari can very easily throw charms, orbs of deceptions, foxfires, and all sorts of nasty, terrible things at you, which can make the early laning phase very painful. Very, very painful. So it is kind of a skill matchup. However, it does shut down Ari just a little bit. The only thing I don't like is that Cassio is like not particularly good against the rest of VIP. I honestly, the more I look at the rest of VIP, the more I don't like Cassio. You're forced to build a Seeker semi early, or you're just straight dead to Vi. Um, and this is a quite a heavy AP bent. Like your only really good sources of AD is Olaf. Because Shen, I mean, he'll do some, but he's not a ton. It's kind of looks like you're relying on Olaf. And my question to Cuddle Party might be, who's cutting through this Maokai? You're going to be feeding him tons of spells for sap magic. He's going to be building plenty of MR because Cassio just machine guns out abilities for Maokai to just spam sap magic. And it might be tough to break through this front line of VIP. But again, I questioned Cuddle Party last time, and they decided to raise my blood pressure by a few points for doubting them. So maybe I'm just not seeing it right here.
Yeah. Based on the last game, I'm going to be honest with you. Picking which one of these teams is going to win this game is nearly impossible. Like, both of these teams are. It looked at one moment that they were dominating and looked really good, uh, and then all of a sudden, they threw, and then the other team looked like they were winning, and then all of a sudden they threw, and that happened back and forth for like, I don't know, what was it, 46 minutes? So yeah, I honestly can't even begin to tell you which team I think is gonna win here. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a fan. I'm pretty excited to see. I'm pretty sure Kuzco is playing the Shin. Like, I'm like very positive he's gonna lock that in into the jungle, and so for me, I think in this game I want to lean Cuddle Party on my end a little bit, just because the Shin. I know that's a good comfort for him. I know he likes to play that one, and I feel like that anytime you have a player who is really comfortable on a champion with an important global ultimate and inside of a competitive game, I think that gives you a pretty good advantage. So I'm looking forward to them here, kind of using that Shin ultimate in a way that allows them to take this game and get us. And of course, I might be a little biased because I want to go to game 3. So whatever. But I don't know if I want to do 350-minute games, but I'll take 3 games.
All right, guys. It looks like both teams are ready to rock. I really don't know how the people who played the game have more stamina than the person who casted the game, also known as myself. But they were ready to rock. So we are going to get into Champ Select. We're going to take a quick break to let you all recover, refuel, get some popcorn, get some water, whatever that may be, and get back into it. But yeah, guys, we will see you in a little bit.
All right. I just want to. Are we live? Because on your Discord stream, I still only see the mini map and the.
Hello, my friends. I'm working with a little bit of a silly little graphical glitch. We'll have that fixed in a second. But on the bright side, we are in game. The game has started, and we have a beautiful one coming at you with Cuddle Party facing Vancouver Impact Challengers. It has begun again. How are you feeling about this one, Mr. Monster?
Listen, based on the game we just had, man, I'm super excited for this one, man. And just looking in right here already, this top lane fight, man. Mortar already having to give up a flash there early. Great play by Fuzz there. I saw a little bit of a banter in the chat saying that Fuzz has never played Renekton before. I think he lied, because that looked perfectly capable to me as he just beat the heck out of the Olaf there.
Yeah. And again, as I said, he can have a bit of trouble because Olaf gets to decide the terms of engagement half the time, because even if you're eating in as Renekton, you're eating an axe on the way, which just slows you, shreds you, and just hurts quite a bit. But if Renekton gets on top of you, he's going to pop you. And you can't really do anything to stop him, because if you use your, I think it's Ignore Pain, don't quote me on that, but if you're using the Olaf W to try and avoid the Renekton damage with your shield, well, Renekton loves shields. He's gonna W your shield away, you're gonna take a ton of damage. As we see, Schneider eats a ton of damage from the Ahri, and you're just seeing a bit of the trouble with Cassiopeia being so short range. It just gets a ton of opportunities for Pigeon to just shoot Ahri charms and all sorts of obnoxious stuff at him. Before we truly get into this, I think we should introduce both teams. We forgot to do that last time. That one was a bit on me. So how about you introduce Vancouver Challengers for the lovely audience here?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Last time we had a little, you guys probably noticed we had a little bit of UI technical difficulties in the last one. You can tell we don't have the same issues in this one. We are killing it. Shout out to Pike for bringing us the awesome additions here. On to the teams though. Vancouver Impact Challengers here on the blue side. Fuzz in the top lane on the Renekton. Stunner on the Vi in the jungle. Pigeon is picking up the Ahri in the mid wave. Nutty One on Ziggs. At ADC, bot lane carry, APZ, I don't know, man. And VIP Brat picking up the Maokai, whatever you want to call the ADC role nowadays. And Pike, why don't you go through the red team, man?
Yeah, we've got Cuddle Party. On top, we got the Mortar. Unfortunately, no more Mord. Very sad. We've got Cusco on Shen, a specialty that I love to see. Oh.
Not quite.
Schneider on the mid lane with Cassio. We have ADC in quotations. PSO1 playing Zera, saying, you know what, I'm going to sit 3 miles away and just shoot you from there. And we've got Jaymont on Bard, hoping he can roam around and just cause a ton of chaos. I cannot wait to see how this game goes. But unfortunately, before you get a 50-minute banger, you have to sit for the first 5 minutes of the game, as we see a
Maokai with a little bit of a thing. The support roaming up here. That's a great hit back. Unfortunately, Ahri not really in a position to kind of counteract that. And all of a sudden, Maokai taking a ton of damage. Oh no, that's a lot of damage over there. Cassiopeia flashes in, but you are under turret by yourself. Vi able to pick up 1 kill. Ahri actually picks up both of those kills. I thought Vi picked up the 1 kill, but Ahri picking up the double kill there. Huge for the side of VIP Challengers. And I thought that flash forward by the Cassiopeia was a little insane.
Whew. That was, you know what I like to say? Insane, such a harsh word. Optimistic. It was a little bit of an optimistic flash forward. And honestly, that's really bad for Schneider here. Schneider is not only facing an Ahri who will get to bully him with her range advantage, but she also gets a 2-kill lead, which just causes a ton of trouble. So this is going to be an interesting game, but we are seeing Renekton go for action, and oh my god.
Oh, and the flash stun in by Renekton. That's a ton of damage coming out. And I just saw the chat talking a lot of crap about Renekton again, and all of a sudden we see Fuzz straight to the level 6, flashes in, gets the kill. Chat, you guys need to just go ahead and chill, man. I don't know what you guys are doing in there. Mods, whoever's in there talking crap about Fuzz right now, go ahead and mute those people right now. Yeah, go ahead and give him the timeout. Give him the timeout.
Send him to kick. Send him to kick. They don't deserve it. They doubted that man.
Uh-oh, Ziggs a little bit alone here. A lot of damage coming out. You're at half HP. That's just the bard doing that damage. Yeah, now it's picking up. Maokai on top of the bard, half HP, but Ziggs, I already took too much damage. I don't think he's going to be able to kind of respond.
That's kind of the nice part. When you have 2 APCs, in the really early game, they're more focused on killing minions and getting items than anything else. So, you know, they can't kill you because they don't have mana. You can't feed a bunch of kills to Lucian and then he wins the game.
Oh, Shin flashes in, tries to get the taunt, but doesn't get it. All of a sudden, Vi's turning it around now. Needs to be a little careful, though. Bard is here, Shen is here, Cass is here. You know, it's a 3v kind of 2 situation there. Ari is level 6, so does have the ulti, so both mid laners kind of scary at the moment. Is Cuddle Party, are they pulling the dragon out to do it? Do they feel comfortable enough to do that?
Looks like they do. And yeah, that might just be a free ocean, man. And we see Zera channeling the Arcane Barrage, as it looks like he was just trying to throw some dinks and donks at poor old Ziggs, but it looks like nothing will come out. Right of the Arcane Barrage, apologies.
Yep, and the first dragon's gonna go over to Cuddle Party. Now they might be down 2 kills, but they are able to pick up the Ocean Drake. Pretty good pickup for them, right? Like you know, a little bit of survivability in their back pocket there. Is always good. So yeah, you know, Cuddle Party, you know, you might be kind of losing the early game kill advantage, but the macro is looking pretty solid so far.
There is one thing that worries me greatly, and that is that your Olaf is homeless. And it looks like he's in a red state because he's getting no health from that jungler.
He's 30 CS and 2 levels down at this point, and he hasn't even hit level 6 yet. So
yeah, it's getting. Oh, Fuzz comes in to just beat a man while he's down, and it's just getting brutal up there.
Look at how quick that damage is coming out from the Renekton Olaf, known as a brawler, but not when you're 3 levels down. It's level 8 to level 5 now. It's getting a little out of control.
Yeah, and the reinforcements come, but what can poor Bard do, and what can Shen do? Like, who is threatening to kill this guy right now? He is so strong. And this looks like the beginnings of a disaster if it's not taken care of. Fortunately, the rest of Cuddle Party has actually clawed themselves a lead. You look at the gold, Renekton is up 1,000, and everybody else is down on like 200 gold or less. So it's literally a one Renekton show here when it comes to the gold diffy. And yeah, just really well played out of Fuzz. Again, you know, tough for the haters out there for Fuzz because that man is cooking right now. But there's still a lot of game to be played.
Yeah, one saving grace, I think, right now, if nothing else, like you mentioned the other Waynes, but specifically the Xerath, he is up 10 CS, and Xerath, you know, one of those champions that, you know, is always useful, right? The range is so insane, so you're always able to poke down the enemy teammate. When you look at VIP challenges here, they're relatively tanky. Like, I mean, obviously Renekton and Maokai, and maybe depending on how Vi builds, but like, you know, that Xerath is always going to be able to land shots down onto Ziggs and onto Ari. So as we see a little bit of a stun there onto Olaf, man, that's a good shield. And even though Renekton's in a turret, I think he's gonna be able to pick up the kill. Shen is able to TP in and pick up the kill, the return kill. So great ulti in there by the Shen to kind of get the return kill. But Olaf, man, you are, I mean, he's in a world of hurt, man. He can't do anything.
Yeah,
he can't even hang out under his turret anymore.
The gold lead has ballooned to a 1.3k gold lead for Renekton, and that's tough. Woe be the day when Renekton acquires TP and starts teleporting down to the rest of the map, because that is going to be not fun for everybody else. Let me put it that way.
I know we talked about beforehand. I was goofing off with Marzipan in the Discord chat a little bit about how Cusco has never lost a series here in TA Split. I got to be honest with you, with Ari at 2-0 and this Renekton already that big, it's early. It's only 10 minutes in, but I'm starting to think Cusco could be in a little bit of trouble. His
Yeah,
undefeated series record could be in jeopardy here.
yeah, absolutely could be, as Xerath has picked up a mighty gold lead for himself, which is pretty good. It's nice to see PSO1 not playing 1 and 8, and they did a lot of work when 108. Imagine when they're just 0-0. And Cusco's got like a really nice kind of gold lead forming right now. And this Vi, who should be getting some work done, you know, she's got level 6. There's plenty of kind of cheap targets to throw around. Vi hasn't ulted anyone yet, as far as I know, which is just really weird. You feel that she wants to force on like Cassio or someone to try and get the ball rolling. Kind of just been chilling, and it looks like Cusco's been the one who's been looking for more action.
Hey, we see a little bit of a 1v1 here. Olaf does land the axe, so gonna be able to slow down Renekton. Shin is here, but Olaf, you take so much damage, man. You got to be very careful there. You almost got, I want to say, one shot somehow by a Renekton, but you are 3 levels down, Shin 2 levels down, so there is a world where that Renekton wins a 1v2 against them.
Yeah, and the sad part is it's not that big of a. Oh my god!
No! Oh, he survives the flash. Okay,
he lived.
just barely. You won't have that flash next time, Olaf. So you might want to figure out something else to do.
Too.
There he is. There's that Vi ulti on top of the Cassiopeia that you were talking about. Great ulti there by Stunner. Shindo with the ulti in is able to kind of no. Great flash by Ari, able to escape there, and they are going to pick up the kill onto the Cassiopeia and be able to get out. I almost thought that Shin ulti in was going to be the saving grace, but Ari did a great job of escaping there.
Yeah, really nice job by Ari to get out of there. That's the issue when it's only an Ari being the one who's like making things happen. It unfortunately means that you are kind of at a very high chance of getting ulted and murdered by Cassiopeia. So well done by Ari to get out of there, and really nicely done by Maokai to understand the situation that was happening and help CC the Cassio. Fortunately, they get away with basically everything, almost no problems, as the gold lead of Vancouver Challengers still sits at about 1K. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Vancouver, like, they're in the driver's seat for sure. Obviously being up 3 kills, but the one thing to look out for, they are still down 2 dragons, right? Yeah. And the one of the most kind of crucial things in League of Legends right now is the dragon stacking, right? That's a lot of reason why teams like to play the red side, and they kind of have that kind of working in their favor at the moment. It's something to watch if they are able to pick up this 3rd dragon here very soon. They're going to be in a position where they're going to be able to kind of dictate what happens the rest of this game.
Also, just a public service announcement. If any of you see like at value when a ward dies, that is not a installation of League problem. It is just a Riot special. Whenever you can go replay or spectate a friend, and you will see whenever a ward dies, you just get the Riot special. So you're welcome for that, as we see Vi go in for another devastating gank.
Oh yeah, great ulti by the bar there to kind of leave Schneider in a tough position there. Not able to get enough damage off fast enough. Shin does taunt in on top of 3 people right there. That's a lot of damage now coming out. The Xerath from downtown able to pick up the kill onto the Maokai. Great job there, and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier with that Xerath. Always able to be involved in these fights. I can think back to a team that I played on for a long time. A team you guys probably know a little bit. Control Alt Defeat Iceman. Mempalo using that Xerath in the bot lane all the time, dude. I know that's your teammate, actually. I'm talking to you, and you're the freaking guy who plays with them the most time. Hey, I love that Xerath, man. It's able to just put itself. It's a global almost, right? It's not all the way global like the Shin ulti, obviously, but it might as well be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's not a one and done. Because people say, well, Ziggs can do that too, but he throws the bomb and then it's over. with Rite of the Arcane, you get plenty of shots, or not you, in this case it's PSO1, gets plenty of shots, and you see PSO1 very accurately finds the priority target, or the one that's low enough to die to the Rite of the Arcane, picks the right target, and blows them up. So really well done out of Xerath, kind of clawing back some gold that they were losing to Ziggs just farm-wise. Ziggs, you better feel lucky that the Rite of the Arcane was blown earlier, because you might have gotten blown up there. It is no laughing matter down there, as the two of them are finally starting to get items and will start to threaten each other.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You know, there's a little bit of a kind of, you know, still kind of going on the norm here. Normally by this 15-16 minute mark we see some lane swaps here, so I'm kind of hoping we see a little Ahri Cassiopeia one-on-one on screen. We haven't really gotten to see either of them 1v1 in this one yet, and to me that's a little sad. You know, the last game I think we got a little action between the two of them. We got to see Schneider pick up a good kill, and this one, you know, he made the flash forward earlier, but since then I think it's been a little slow as we see another engage on a Schneider here. Unfortunately, you are in a tough spot. The Shin ulti is in, but it's just not enough. Cusco, you're also really low, man. That is a great play there by VIP. Man, they're doing a great job just being present on the map, using their abilities, getting those flanks off, getting these ganks off, man. This team is scary this split, you guys. I think.
Wow.
Oh, great
Bard.
there.
That was gross.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Daybot, calm down, bro. Calm down.
They lost the turret ultimately, but that was awesome to see. So, yeah, shout out to Bard there, Jmont, man. Yeah, what a great what a great Bard ulti there.
That's kind of the issue for Jmont, though, is he like has to constantly hang around this Cassiopeia, because you see, if Bard ult land on Cassiopeia while she's getting like ulted and destroyed by half the other team, Cassiopeia lives and it's a great play. You're having a great time. If Bard ult doesn't come in, Cassio's probably just dead to rights until she gets a Seeker's Arm Guard, and it should be known that Cassiopeia is currently finishing her Archangels, which is not a Seeker's Arm Guard, so she's got some time. So Schneider kind of putting themselves into Jmont's hands for their own safety here, and it could get a little bleak for Cassio for a little bit. It's just tough as we see potential dragon.
Yeah, I honestly think that VIP should be able to cleanly take this dragon. I don't know if this is a fight Cuddle wants to take. I think Pigeon is in a position where he can pretty much pick any member of Cuddle Party and blow him up immediately. Xerath does get the ulti off, but I don't know if it's enough damage to kill Pigeon. So, you know, I think it's smart by Cuddle Party there not to try to engage in on that. Just let them have that dragon. Move on with your life. You still have two dragons. Go back, get a little bit of farm as we see Maokai does engage on a Cassiopeia here. Oh, great flash by Snyder. Oh, great ulti by Snyder too. Able to definitely escape out of that. Maokai ulti coming in to kind of help get out of this new situation where all of a sudden 4 members of Cuddle Party here.
No!
Bard is able to get the flank by Pigeon, and we mentioned it earlier. He's in a position where he can pick anybody. Renekton picks up the double kill. Ahri most likely going to be able to pick up this kill as well, while Stunner picks up the Shen instead. You know, fine, it doesn't matter who picks it up at the end of the day. That's a great fight for VIP there. And again, they are just in the, you know, a much better position. Their champions are put exactly where they need to be. Ahri not inside of the initial engage, so able to get in on the backside. Same story for Renekton. Really great job.
And unfortunately, if you're Olaf, you are reporting your Bard there, because the Tempered Fate went onto the person you were trying to kill. Your Ragnarok ran out while you were waiting for that guy to stop being invulnerable, and then you died. So super tragic. Just a bit of a miscommunication there, as Bard's going on a ride with Maokai. But it might be for naught, as, wow, Cuddle Party is under so much pressure right now. So much pressure.
And I feel like it's a 6k gold lead, but that 6k gold lead feels like so much more right now, because Ahri and Renekton are just so strong, man. They are both so incredibly ahead, so incredibly fed at this point. And what do you do against a Renekton? If you're the Cuddle Party, how do you counter? Like, obviously the Ahri is just, I mean, there's nothing you can really do. She's gonna dash around and she's gonna pick somebody off. But how do you stop this Renekton right now?
You don't. Renekton is 3k gold ahead.
Who's building the hill cut?
I think the real answer is you get someone like Xerath who can just clear the wave from like 3 miles away, but even then, if the Renekton's playing intelligently, the Vi is hanging around him, and you can see Vi's already taking a peek down there, as it gets really hard to play around this Renekton. And it's really a shame that Cuddle Party got a little too close and that fight started, because it felt like if Cuddle Party got away after that drag, Olaf could have picked up a few waves and made the game a little bit more playable, but now Olaf's just back to the suffering. Oh, the misery. The passion of the Loft continues.
He's just in a position where, like, I don't know what he does. Like, where do you put the Olaf? Like a champion that traditionally I think wants to be in those side waves, like kind of pushing them down, kind of brawling. What do you do when you can't brawl, man? Like you just lost half your life in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, you suck it up and play it out, you know? Here's the good thing, okay? Here's the good thing about this. In terms of...
the stun onto the Olaf. That's a lot of damage coming out. No, he's going to be able to get away. All right, sorry, continue.
If we take a look at the gold right now, and I'll see if I can find it. The gold that Renekton has is freaking massive. He's like 10k gold right now. So most of the gold is currently sitting in Fuzz's hands. So if you're Olaf and you're able to just survive and waste that Renekton's time, you are actually doing your team a massive service. Now, unfortunately, Nutty One and Stunner also are pretty high up there. But if you look at the gold differences, the massive one is Renekton. So if you are able to keep this Renekton kind of stuck in a side lane...
Oh, that's a lot of damage onto the mortar. That's a Vi ulti onto the mortar. You are really low. CC immune, though. Going to be able to run back in there. That's a lot of damage coming back out onto the Vi. Great re-engage there by Cusco. Unfortunately, Fuzz and Stunner, you guys are getting real low. You probably want to try to get out of here. I don't know if Fuzz is going to be able to. He's going to go ahead and... Oh, the Q by Fuzz. Oh, no, not able to do it. He does get taken down. Nice little play there by Cuddle Party to kind of show some life.
Yeah. And as I was saying, you need to waste this man's time and then gank him. And that's exactly what they're doing. Because when you do that, you take the largest chunk of the enemy team's gold and put it to somewhere where it's not going to be useful. Fortunately, Vancouver's pushing on the other side of the map, but that was actually pretty good for Cuddle Party there.
Yeah, you know, I think anything Cuddle Party can do to get a little bit of gold, one kill there, one kill here, like, it's going to be good as we see a TP from Ari coming in on the mid wave. The dragon is up. You know Cuddle Party really wants to try to get this, but this is a scary trio walking in right now.
Yep, and look how deep Xerath's TP is. Look how deep Xerath's TP is. He's like in the pit. Oh no!
Yeah, blue team is able to get it. Great still. Great still, but they are able to get the kill. That's you know, they get the return kill, but they do lose the dragon. So, what is that? A free dragon for VIP there? Not exactly what you wanted from Cuddle Party. I thought it was a good idea, but it did feel kind of flippy, and it turns out that Vi was able to win the smite fight there.
Oh, it was like 100 damage to Earth. Wow, what a stun! PSO1, bro.
Oh, great! Pigeon with the Q is able to pick up the kill onto the Shin. You are alone now in there, Olaf. A lot of damage coming out. He's able to pick up the kill on the Ziggs. That CC immune is so devastating. He is able to just get out with a sliver of HP. Cass jumps over. J-Mod is now dead. Brad doing a great job, but not going to be able to escape now. Mortar picking up another kill, and all of a sudden, Olaf making a huge impact onto this fight right now. Despite being down so early, this low health HP, Olaf chunking out so much damage, does get the stun off. Renekton, I don't know, Olaf, man. Oh my goodness, he's still alive, dude. That's insane. As they are finally able to take down Renekton. I thought the flash in there was going to be it, but he survived it anyway.
Oh my god, it doesn't end. People
Snyder, dude, almost died too. What is going on, man?
People are like, oh, this game's over. You didn't watch game one. Everyone thought it was over, and then the Clown Fiesta began, the NA special began. Fellas, strap in. Never, we saw it in the Twitch chat, never count Cuddle Party out. Ever. Ever. Because these guys will literally turn crap into diamonds. Unfortunately, they turned it into crap first, but they'll turn it right back into diamonds. Beautifully played from Olaf. This man is like literally 1 foot in the grave for what feels like 3/4 of the fight. He goes in to peel for his Cassiopeia, slaps a honey fruit, and just runs around in the honey fruit to waste this Renekton's time while Cassiopeia is just hitting him with the twin fangs. It really is delightful play out of the Mortar here, who was really left in a just tough situation, and they're going ham. They're going ham. This game is not over yet. Uh-oh, it is for Nutty One.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately for Ziggs. Nice Bard ulti on top of them, but
Vi's in ton of
a lot of
trouble.
damage coming out quickly to Vi. Yeah, you're not getting out of that one, my friend. That's 2 members dead now. All of a sudden, Cuddle Party is looking
Is that a Baron?
looking strong, dude. Dude, it could be.
It's tough because Fuzz is hanging around. I don't know if he can stop it. Mortar's coming too. And this might be the first time Cuddle Party's had a Baron this time around. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still a Renekton and there's still an Ahri, but I think this should be a free Baron over the rest side. No chance of stealing this one. Renekton does engage inside of the Capio. That's 5 members on top of you, though. Fuzz, not the move you wanted to make there. Pigeon now all alone. A lot of damage coming out real quickly. You are also going to die, my friend. And all of a sudden, it's an even game in gold. But Cuddle Party feels like they are in the driver's seat for sure. The return kill by that's nice. He does use the ultimate to pick up a kill there. That is gonna definitely maybe stimmy the tide, stimmy the push a little bit, slow things down. So now all of a sudden the game super even. 2 dragons to 2 dragons. Both teams have right about 50k gold, and Xerath is now pretty strong as well. This Olaf has come online. Shen always useful. Cassiopeia is starting to scale a little bit, and VIP, man, we could be looking at a game 3. Pike, what are you thinking?
Yeah. And you asked, how do you kill Renekton? Cuddle Party had an answer: Cassiopeia. If you want to see true gore, and I'm sure there's plenty of sickos watching on the stream now, look at this gold graph. Look at it. Look how massive that freaking blue team gold was. Look at the gold lead. It's disgusting. And then it just torpedoed down in the last few minutes. It is so gross as we see Renekton going in again, and he might not even win this fight. What is my life right now, bro?
Dude, I have no idea. As we see, Brad has also maybe caught out the flash there, is going to keep him alive. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do here. They're kind of in a dangerous position. Nutty One, you did not want to get in charge of that. Brad going to try to get him out there, but Nutty One is really low now. Cusco doing a ton of damage on that Shin. I don't know how. It just came out of nowhere. He's able to pick up the kill finally. Snyder as well. The Bard ulti. VIP, man, you are out of there. And now Cuddle Party going to be able to definitely pick up this 3rd dragon, man.
And this chem tech is so important. It's so important. There are a ton of healers on Cuddle Party. Olaf is a massive healer. People don't talk about it. Cassiopeia gets lots of health back from her E. It helps her sustain. The more heal and shield power you can get,
coming out on the stunner. Yeah, they don't want to walk into the 2 turrets. Oh my God, Cassiopeia. Snyder again going under this mid turret.
Please go away. I'm starting to get heart palpitations. Don't do this to me. Oh my goodness. This game just keeps on giving. I am 95% sure everyone thought this game was over at 30 minutes, 5 minutes ago. And we might be in it for the long haul, or if it's ending in 30 minutes, it's not ending the way Vancouver thought it would.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last game, the potential of 3, 40, 50-minute games in a row, and this one's 30 minutes in, and it's basically dead even.
Yeah, dead even. 1k gold lead for Cuddle Party, but that's a big nothing burger when both teams have 50+k gold. Basically nothing. You know what the craziest part is? The massive 3k Renekton gold lead is now under 1,000. Oh, it is just craziness in here, as a massive gold lead has been attained by Xerath, and we've seen Xerath put in a ton of, not Xerath, PSO1 had put in a ton of work with the Rite of Arcanes. The only thing we're seeing now is that Nutty One has begun to answer Xerath R's with his own Mega Bomb, which is really helping.
Absolutely, we see some pings coming out down there on the bot side, the vision there, and that's really what it's about right now in this part of the game. With none of these like big objectives up, as you know, it's kind of all about setting up, and we've seen even in the last game that Cuddle Party lost, we've seen them kind of be really strategic and really smart with their word placement, and you know, I think that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? Like, you know, they're doing a good job of getting the vision where they want it now. I don't know what their plan is here. I don't know if they're, you know, thinking that they can, you know, fight for this next dragon, if they're thinking they want to try for the Baron, but, you know, they're playing really heavily on that top side.
They want to kill Cassiopeia, but Shen is here, and we were talking about it early in the game. Shen a bit of a
the ulti by Cassiopeia! It's able to get a ton of damage off on the Ahri, but unfortunately Ahri is just so, I mean, just so mobile, able to get out of there. Does land the charm. That is going to be a dead Cassiopeia, I believe. Shut down, going on over to the Vi. Great re-engage there by the Ahri, able to kind of ulti away after the initial turnaround by Cassiopeia, and the Vi just coming in to rescue everyone. Pigeon, man, honestly, on this Ahri, dude, I expected a Kali or something, but I think he's piloting this Ahri pretty well.
But this is what I love out of Cuddle Party. The Shen comes down, yes, but the rest of the team says, you do that, we get plates. And look at all the plates. There were plates being taken both mid and top at the time, and now they might catch Vi in rotation. No, they not. Thankfully, Stunner gets out safely, but this game is still very tense, and it feels like Cuddle Party's really trying to pull Vancouver around the map. We see the Baron's up very soon, the Dragon up in a lot longer, but yeah.
A little bit of a 1v1 here. Fuzz is down at half HP.
Is he losing?
Does get the ulti off. No, Cusco's gonna have to run away from this. That Renekton ulti, if he can just stay alive until that Renekton ulti goes away, he can definitely win. But with that ulti going, there's no chance.
Yeah, too chunky. I believe that is a Dusk and Dawn. Yes, Brother's a man after my own heart in the Shen build, Dusk and Dawn and Titanic. Actually does a lot of work on Shen. I usually like Proto Belt after, but he decided to go Knight's Vow. Can't exactly blame him for it. A lot of people need his help this game when Vi's trying to blow people up. But yeah, the mental fortitude of Cuddle Party is really something to be lauded here. Like, they are playing so well as we see another Vi engage.
Yep, another Vi engage. Unfortunately, I don't think it is in a great position to get the play out there. Oh no, Pigeon hit by the bar ulti. You could be in a really tough spot. Yeah,
you were a
instantly
naughty
exploded.
fox. You were a naughty fox. You know what that means? Grounded.
Yeah, well, that means a Baron for the side of Cuddle Party and potentially the Softize turret. I guess Ziggs and Renekton are gonna push him off for now. Nutty One and Fuzz doing the smart thing and responding there. You know, that leaves just the 4 members of Cuddle Party here taking this Baron. I don't know if they can really do anything about it. VIP might just have to give this Baron up.
Yeah, they might. And yeah, you're going in on Olaf, but it's an Olaf who's got Ragnarok, and Vi has to run for her life. Shen
oh my goodness,
oh
there's
my
Shen
goodness.
ulti. And they just came off the Baron, and now they're just cleaning house. Olaf able to run through. He's going to be able to finish off the Maokai. Well, the Xerath is able to finish off the Maokai there, and he's going to be able to escape. Cuddle Party doing a great job. Nutty One, unfortunately, man, the Zonias is great, but you are not going to survive. And Cuddle Party, I'm not saying they could win right here, but they might be able to win it down and win right here.
They're going to do a lot of damage and take... Oh my god, Ari!
Pigeon! Where did he come from?
Pigeon just out of nowhere from downtown.
No, you need to stay alive. He needs to stay alive, though. He cannot afford to die here. Okay, good. Cuddle Party doing the smart thing. Unfortunately, you know, since Pigeon was able to pick up that kill, they don't have enough to stay here. They do pick up the next dragon, so they do have soul. They just picked up the Baron, so Cuddle Party, yeah, I'm going to be honest, man, I'm pretty sure we're getting game 3.
I am fairly sure. The tenacity, the damage resistance is massive. The heal shield is massive. This is everything that Cuddle Party wants, and they are just yoinky spoinky pulling VIP all over this map, and it is just getting brutal. Completely brutal for VIP. You need to be thinking to yourself, where did it all go wrong? And if I'm Fuzz, like, bro, I want a refund. He played so well most of the game, and it just felt like his team let him down a little bit there. Maybe that's why the man doesn't play Renekton. Maybe he's got some PTSD going.
If you guys are listening in the chat, Buzz, the only, well, I guess Nutty one doesn't either. I was gonna say the only one without the VIP name didn't change his name. Just saying. On this Renekton though, it's been absolutely terrifying. So all that smack talk in the beginning, I don't know what these people were talking about. My man Fuzz has been killing it. Unfortunately for Fuzz and his team, it's looking pretty desolate for you. I don't know what your chances are of winning this game, but I don't think they're very high.
To watch a man go from a 3K plus gold lead to, oh, hi Shen. It was nice knowing you. And he taunts away. Yeah,
he's dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the flash over. I thought it was going to be good for a second, but not this time. No, they are pushing on the other side, though. They are pushing that bot lane in, so a little bit of good trade. Olaf coming in.
Now that my jungler's out of the way, I want in, Olaf says, as he just Ragnaroks in. But unfortunately, it appears that there's just way too much CC. But it was a beautiful time waster. Look at the cannons just plinking away at that tower. That might just be a dead inhib tower. Yup, there it goes. And now the inhib itself is under threat, though I think it might be time for Cuddle Party to bail before they get engaged on. I don't think you want any more after that inhib.
Yeah, they got the they got what they wanted. They got the inhib. They now have two of them. They're in the driver's seat. Just go ahead and back off. Just reset, take a little bit of the gold that you got. Oh, well, maybe not reset. Maybe just go on the top wave and keep it moving. Who am I? What am I saying? I don't even know what I'm talking about.
And take 3 tower shots for Aura. That was very important. The mortar did it. Someone had to do it.
Stunner ulting in onto the Bard. Bard does ulti and doesn't get Stunner inside of there. Olaf does run and charge in there. Pigeon, you're in a weird spot now, though. All of a sudden, Brat taken down. That's no tank there for the side of a VIP. It's a scary moment to be, but Cassiopeia is now dead. Not a lot of damage coming out from Cuddle Party. Now, Cusco, you're alone, man, in a 4v1 here. Oh, he is able to pick up the kill. Xerath from the like I said in the early part, from deep, able to always be a part of these team fights. And all of a sudden, there's a couple of dead on each side, and no team really in a lead. Mortar, though, you're in a little bit of trouble here. Stunner really close. He does pick up the kill. Oh my goodness, another trade there. And oh man, and again, here we are. 2 members for Cuddle Party alive, 2 members for VIP, and we're. Pike, I'm gonna be honest, I think we're staring down the barrel of another 45-minute game, 15 minutes.
I know. They can't. They will not let me leave. No, he's gonna get the kill. Oh my God,
he picks him up. What a flash, dude. Pigeon in a little bit of trouble here. Bard doing, oh my God, Bard, what just happened? Bard just beat the crap out of him.
They just Chris Angel Ari. She disappeared.
Yeah, and all of that to get this third turret, and they got it. They got it, and Bard might even pick up the inhib. Cuddle Party, I don't know, man.
God.
I have no idea.
Unsung hero. I don't think we sing enough of his praises. There was that really unfortunate play where he screwed over Olaf. But in that early game, he really did a lot of work to prevent prevent Vi ganks from working on Cassia. He would see the Vi use her cease and desist on Cassio. He would immediately tempered fate, which is one of the few things that can prevent a successful cease and desist happening, because it Zanya's both players. Obviously, cease and desist is unstoppable. Previously, tempered fate doesn't care. So it's been really nicely played by Bard here, and I mean, it didn't take a lot of skill to right-click Ari and delete her with a meep, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, now the question is, with Baron up in 30 seconds or so, Elder up in a minute and a half, what do we want to do here? I don't know. Maybe we do nothing. Maybe we just win the game. Maybe we just kill the Maokai and Nutty one in this moment right now, as the re-engage from blue side looking really good, actually. Cusco going down really low, Snyder going down really low. That's 2 members of them down, but Mortar just sitting on the backside. He's going to get the back door. What is this, season 2? Is this what we do? Is he going to be able to get it? Yes, he gets it, and Cuddle Party does take the win. Olaf, man, after being so useless in the beginning of the game, able to take the win.
What just happened? Oh my God! What was that? Help! Someone? What was that? What did I just witness? I don't think I'm equipped to properly analyze this. This is like a Joe Mama? Chaos? That was crazy. The only thing I can say is what a massive amount of mental fortitude and mental skill by Cuddle Party to be down that much gold and still play the game. The gold difference was, I believe, like 6 to 10k at one point at like 15 minutes in the game, and they still held it together, held the line, and made the comeback happen. Honestly, massive props to them for that. Just, just crazy, bro. Completely crazy out of them. Um, certified, certified like insane asylum behavior out of both teams here, man. Mm-hmm. Just insane. Just insane. Just I oh my god. Okay. Guys, we're gonna take a really quick break. They asked to start the draft again. I begged them for mercy. I need to get water real quick. I've been screaming my lungs out. We are just gonna we're gonna take a quick break. We are gonna reset, reload, get ready for the next draft. When we're back, the draft will start, and then we are gonna get into game 3. For those of you who have just joined us before we take our quick break, this is a 1-1 game, and they were two like 30-minute plus bangers. I'm telling you, you have so much you have so much to watch. So much. So we will see you in a second. Starting. Hello, my friends. I'm back. And not only am I back, after Cuddle Party gave me literal heart palpitations in their last game alongside Vancouver Impact, I have brought in reinforcements who will hopefully help stabilize my blood pressure. Who is that reinforcement? Well, his name is Nemo. Nemo, please introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I had this. I saw the game. I had to hop in. Had to give my input, get some play-by-plays. Pike, the man, he's probably developed a set of some asthma, something from all the screaming, all the hype that we got going on. I'm excited for this game 3. We're gonna get this show on the road. I'm ready for draft. So take me through the first couple games. What do we see?
So we saw a lot of global bans, stuff like Nocturne, stuff like Shen in game one, which we saw get back. Interestingly enough, the Nocturne was banned, and we have seen Poppy bans out of VIP. Hui comes in, Locke comes in. Obviously, Hui wants to sit back, keep people away from him, do lots of damage. Locke wants the very opposite. He wants to jump in on you and do a ton of damage. Only problem is for Locke is that Hui can be bounced down to the bot lane, and a much more obnoxious mid laner can be picked into him. But unfortunately, sometimes that's just the choice you make when you're trying to get a good lane going for Locke. Locke's still pretty good, and oh my goodness, it's a champion very close to Nemo's heart. We see the Zeri pick. That's pretty hype.
Zeri.
I know. Lightning Crash incoming. Um,
Yeah.
I really liked when VIP was put on a very mobile playmaking ADC. I think the Lucian out of I'm really sorry. Nutty One. When Nutty One was playing Lucian, he was honestly going ham. I think the Ziggs was a bit of a disservice to his skill set, which really seems to be this aggressive playmaking style. I think Zeri will help him out a ton. We see Kaharthus and we see Hui. Oh my goodness. And there's Wukong. So that looks like it is Karthus bot Hui mid. Wow.
Oh.
Wow, 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 wow. A very um very interesting first rotation out of Cuddle Party. I cannot wait to see what Vancouver Impact picks in response. Arthas, very popular bot laner, definitely not in kind of middle to lower elos. Just so immobile and easy to catch. It's very hard to pilot, and if you can't hit Skittles, you're screwed. So absolutely understand that. But he's pretty popular in the Apex elos that we are witnessing here. Just to remind you, we are in the, I believe, Baron tier or Elder. We are basically in Apex, Masters and Grandmasters, just so you guys know what's happening. Lulu picked with Zeri, and it looks like we might be closing in on make this Zeri buff as heck and watch her tear through these squishy mages.
Yeah, I think that the Zeri pick is especially good into mage bots. So
Mm-hmm.
given the fact that they locked the Karthus in after seeing the Zeri shown,
Mm-hmm.
means that either one, they don't respect the Zeri, or two, they just think Karthus is just going to carry this game over. He does
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of damage, but like you said, hitting those skill shots is going to be something that he has to do, hitting those Qs. I like the Wukong. I like the team fight presence that he's going to have. If he
Mm-hmm.
hits a good Cyclone, you have the Karthus ult that can come down over the top, and Hui's going to be raining things from 3 screens over. I,
Yeah.
I think that I like the Wombo combo Cuddle Party showing right now. I'm curious to see who they're going to pick support, and I'm curious to see who they're going to pick top lane. They have to look for some AD options, something that does damage, because the Wukong does do a decent amount of damage, but he's not going to, have 50,000 damage at the end of the game. Something that the other team
Especially
needs to itemize for.
now that we see a horny, horny. Yeah, that Wukong's got quite the big chonker to break through. Leona. Okay. Well, what makes you guaranteed eat Skittles as Zeri? Being stunned in place for 15 seconds by Leona just chain CCing you. So that makes it easier for you to land Skittles.
Yeah, no, 100%. Funny enough, actually, tonight in my set, I literally played Zeri into Leona Hui bot.
Mhm.
So I literally saw the same exact thing, and it's just like if you get hit by one thing, in the lane, your half your health bar's gone. So I think
Yeah.
one thing that VIP is definitely going to focus on, and we do see, the Ornn pick, the Lulu, these enabling picks. I think Locke is going to have to get ahead, and Pigeon being pretty well regarded as one of the, if not the best, one of the best mid laners in the entire division. Everyone will say that, except for maybe Young Flexer might say that he's better. I'm not sure. I think that getting this Locke pick on him is going to be pretty big.
Tristana. Is that Karthus jungle? Is that Karthus jungle Wukong top, way mid?
I don't know where anything's going at this point.
I think my faith in humanity has been shaken. That actually turns into a terrible situation because when you go from Hui to Tristana, it goes from half your health to you're dead, bro. If Leona gets on top of you.
It could be Tristana top into the Ornn as
Oh,
well.
could be.
Yeah.
The dog? What the dog doing? Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
what is the dog doing?
Wow. They basically say, where's your tank? I see a Karthus, a Hui, and a Tristana. I'm just going to pick the dog and jump over everyone and kill them. Wow. Very aggressive picks by both teams here.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that I like VIP's comp just a tad bit more. Maybe I'm being biased because the green-haired girl in the bot lane, but I think I like they know what their comp wants to do. It wants to go forward. You've got the Ornn coming over with the ultimate. He's going to be a tank. He's got CC. You've got Nefiri and Locke who are going to be diving onto this Tristana, onto this Hui, onto the Karthus, and then Zeri that's going to be able to kite and clean up the Leona Wukong. I really like this VIP comp.
We have gotten confirmation from the teams. It is Tristana top. So it is
Ooh,
a Tristana top, Wukong jungle, Hui mid, Karthus bottom, Leona support.
like it. Like it. I like it a lot. Triss is good in the
So
Ornn, so
yes, and that actually makes the game a lot more playable for Zeri. Because she will not instantly explode upon getting touched by Leona. She'll only lose half her health, which is better.
yeah, half is
um,
better than full.
yeah, half is better than full. Not dying is great.
I think that the Karthus could end up being a big pick here. It all depends on this early game. You pick two hyper scaling ADCs. You've got the Hui into Locke matchup, who generally speaking, I would say Hui probably scales a little bit better than Locke. But it's just whether this dive from the side of VIP can get on top of the
Mm-hmm.
backline for Cuddle Party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. And guys, it looks like we are almost there. Teams are finishing their last preparations. There was a side swap that was occurring. It looks like we are going to have a blue side cuddle party this time, which is very cool. But
Very
we
cool.
very cool. I got to keep it nice and calm before the storm
Yeah.
of whatever happens at 20 minutes begins. So we are going to take a real quick break. We are going to get everything ready for you guys. I'm going to make sure the teams are set up and everything's set up. And we're going to jump into game 3. Guys, I'm so happy to have you here, and I really cannot wait to see you all in game 3. But for now, we are just going to take a quick break. We'll see you in a little bit. Hello, hello, good friends. The League of Legends is about to
Minions has
be
spawned.
played. It is a beautiful day on the Rift, and I have with me Nemo. Nemo, please, for the love of God, introduce me to Cuddle Party and tell me who they're cooking with.
All right, so Cuddle Party started off with a bit of an interesting draft. We've got the Mortar up in the top lane piloting the Tristana, Cusco and Schneider with the jungle mid synergy on the Wukong and the Hui, and then the bot lane combo is going to be PS and Jaymont on the Karthus and the Leona with Ignite, so looking to get some kills early.
Yeah, and on VIP, hoping to finally get their revenge and close out a game they probably felt they should have won about 40 minutes ago, we have in the top lane Fuzz, who did great on Renekton. In the jungle, we have Stunner, who was playing Nefiri now. In the mid, we have Pigeon on Lock, who's been very solid throughout this series. In the bot, we have Nutty One on Nemo's favorite, Zeri. I'm almost sad he didn't get to say it. And on support, Lulu, we have Brat. And how are you feeling so far?
Man, I'm feeling good. I just love watching some fighting going down. Just some early trades between the lanes. We love seeing Pigeon on the lock, able to press something against this Hui. Ignite does come down. Hui hits some CC back. Gonna be able to push him back. And Pigeon gonna be playing super aggressive on that lock, kind of like what we expected beforehand. As we see an engage in the bot lane, Zeri gets exhausted, looking low. Looks like Nutty One forced to flash to get out. Flash is traded. PS01 flashing forward, uses the exhaust to try and get on top of that Zeri. But Cleanse and Flash gonna be able to get Nutty One out. And yeah, just kind of what we can see out of that bot lane early. If Leona hits one of those engages, if Jaymont can get on top of the Zeri, they're going to be able to do a lot of damage to them. My question for you though is, what are we kind of looking at if we're both sides? If we're Cuddle Party versus VIP, what are you wanting from each team?
I'm wanting to see the Fury make her way bot and take that pressure off Zeri so she can start blossoming. Well, speaking of
flash
bot
engage
lane,
goes in, the stun comes down. Leona trying to make a play, takes a tower shot. Jaymont forced back. Looks like Brat is stepping up. Brat on the Lulu, trying to make, maybe trade back into Leona, but the tower shot's a little bit unforgiving. But on the other side, Fuzz goes in onto Mortar, who instantly exhausts, gets the double jump proc, and Tristana, the Mortar going to pick up first blood in game 3 for the side of Cuddle Party.
Wow, and I think the man was backing. He was backing, and then he's like, "Ooh, big damage hit on Tristana." Yeah,
and I think Tristana might be dead.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the flash comes out of log to be able to get the kill. Pigeon picks up his first one, so gonna quickly even up the 1-1 score line, and I'll get right back to what you were saying.
Yeah, he was backing, and then he's like, "Ooh, big damage junk on Tristana," but are you killing her? Is always the question I will pose when you're a tank who thinks you can chunk someone. Because if not, and you've blown all your abilities on, and you have nothing, well, what's going to happen to you after? Well, Fuzz learned. You're going to get shot by Tristana and it's going to kill you. So, hey, that's a good lesson. Be careful before you leap, as some say. And we might see a gank on lock here.
Yeah, looks like Pigeon going to be able to dash forward, trying getting out. Schneider hits the CC again, and Cusco trying to follow up with some damage, but looks like Pigeon's going to take them on a field trip, hits the dash again, and Fuzz is down to come help out. Jump comes in from Tristana. Mortar looking for more. Wukong dashes in, flashes in. Cusco, they're trying to get the kill, gets the bomb attached. Hui hits the long distance ability, but I don't think that they're going to have enough damage to kill Pigeon. Able to dash out once again, and Pigeon able to survive the gank. Forced all the way up into the top lane, but Wave doesn't look like it's in the worst spot mid for them, and that's exactly, that's good. Your lock's not getting punished early. He's down a little bit of CS, but Pigeon or Lock isn't a melee character, but he's shorter range than the Hui. Is this kind of how you expected the matchup to go?
Yeah, it is kind of how I was expecting it. Uh-oh.
Flash in from the Leona. Jaymont looking for the kill on the Zeri. Ignite does come down. No cleanse on that Zeri, and Nutty One going to fall to PS1. But Stunner is here. The Nefiri looking for the follow-up. Lulu is still there. Brought trying to keep them, Nefiri, alive, and Leona's going to fall in response. Stunner picking up their first kill of game 3, and down goes the Leona for the first time. But we saw just how deadly that engage from Leona can be.
Yeah, very deadly. Very, very deadly. So, gotta be careful.
Yeah,
be careful.
Gotta be careful.
But I would kill Zeri and get killed by the jungler probably a million times, because keeping that Zeri down is really useful, because you have a Tristana who's ahead, which means if you play your cards right, you're gonna have a really nice chunky ADC versus an ADC who's feeding off table scraps, and that can be really useful for Cuddle Party in the long run.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we do see the cull buy early from Nutty One, just going to try and make sure they get as much gold, preserve as much of their health as they can. As the engage comes in from Fuzz, who has hit 6, looking for the Ornhorn ultimate, responded by Mortar, going to be able to push the Ornn back. Not going to get the solo kill, but ultimate's exchanged in the top lane.
Yeah, yeah. Glad he didn't die trying that. A little scared for him if that missed, just being completely honest. But yeah, I do like that Fuzz is confident enough to keep fighting and not just let Tristana have everything for free. I just worry about his general healthiness as this happens, and I'm really worried about the bottom lane, because this looks not fun for Zeri, and that might just be a dead Yordle.
Yeah, engage comes in onto Lulu. Brat doing everything to get away, but looks like at the same time the mid gank is coming on. Stunner there looking for the kill on Hwei. Flashes forward. Pigeon picks up the kill onto Schneider with the execute, while in the bot lane, Brat able to survive. Forced to use flash, but is able to get away, which is pretty surprising considering all the damage that she took straight up, all that burst that we were talking about coming out of the Karthus Leona. But it's huge for the side of VIP that they're able to pick up a kill and their Lulu's able to survive.
No, why?
It looks like Nutty goes in for the engage. Does have the cleanse and flash. Cleanse is looking for the kill on the Karthus, exhausted, going to try and kite back. Lulu comes for the shield. I don't think, oh, flashes forward, trying to get the kill. Nutty One's not going to be able to, trying to back up. Leona hits the stun. Looks like the kill's gonna go over to Jaymont, who I think Nutty One got a little bit too kill hungry on that Karthus PS01, able to survive using both of those summoners.
Wow. Crazy work right there. Really crazy work. A little shocked by the re-engage there, to be completely honest. And it was sad too, because they really played well. Something that was contributing to the danger of the dive there was that a Karthus ult was coming in, yet they still managed to successfully dive the way and get away. And I was about to start singing Vancouver's praises, but unfortunately they're just giving kills away to Karthus, and that's probably one of the worst things you could do in the early game. You really want to force Karthus to,
Yep, as the Cyclone comes out, it looks like that might just be a dead Nefiri. Cusco going to pick up that kill, while on the other side, Pigeon grabs Schneider on the Hwei. Looks like that is a dead Ornn double kill going over to Cusco, picks up his second of the game, and I think that's going to be 2 grubs over to them. While the lightning crash comes out, double flash used in the mid lane. Pigeon trying to get away from this Leona, who eased forward, going to get the grab. Wukong flashes Cusco on a killing spree, and he picked up all 3 of those kills in the last 10 seconds. While on the bottom side, Nutty One trying to play super aggressive onto this cart is exactly what you need to do, but not going to end up getting anything right here, and just taking a little bit of Q damage. Looks like that they went double longsword after Cull. I wonder what they're building into first. Do you have any thoughts or anything about these builds, about these so far, how each team's been playing?
I understand the double longsword Cole. I think Zeri was building a little aggressive, then realized that the lane wasn't working out, so just go Cole and try to salvage some money. The thing that's really dangerous is they're feeding Cusco, and that's one of the worst things you can do in the game. Probably worse than feeding Karthus, honestly. I would rather have a fed Cusco on my team than a fed Karthus. 95% of the time, the dude is creepy, and he will basically spread those kills across the entire team as
Yep, speaking of creepy, there is a stunner down here looking for this Karthus. Gonna get the shutdown over onto the Nefiri. There's 4 people down here for VIP. giving Cuddle Party reign of the rest of the map, but gonna pick up a kill, another one for their Nefiri, and you hate to see that your Zeri doesn't get any of these kills, doesn't even get an assist for that one, but plays are being made, able to shut him down, and in the mid lane, looks like Locke might be looking for something, but in top, Fuzz trying to do anything to this Tristana, but unfortunately has found himself in what we call a counter matchup. He can't really do much against Mortar, but outside of that, I mean, VIP's been very proactive this game, trying to keep this, basically keep Cuddle Party on their back foot. However, as you said, Cusco picked up 3 kills, and I'm just having flashbacks of, I think we casted it together, the Fiora game he had in playoffs last split, where he absolutely just carried that game after getting fed.
Dude, I needed a shower after that game, honestly, and I'm really worried I'm gonna need another shower because Cusco is just going crazy right now. In good news, even though he's going pretty ham, Nefiri is like not that far behind it, so that's decent, right? Locks, and you have an ahead lock, and a head lock can, as you can ask literally anybody who's played against him within the first week of his release, a lock that's ahead can do almost anything, as we see a gank about to happen.
And a Locke that dead might not be able to do anything. The Solar Eclipse comes down from Leona. Locke trying to get away. Pigeon on the escape, but Karthus goes, he comes back in. The Wild Goat comes out. Locke still going after it. Lightning Crouch comes down. Schneider picks up the kill. Cusco on a rampage. It's a 2 for 0 for the side of Cuddle Party. Cusco trying to make it 3, not going to be able to, but that is a crazy catch out by Jaymont onto this lock, and looks like the Karthus might be following them to the gray screen. Stunner picks up the kill on the PSO1, channeling his ult again, not going to be able to grab that. Karthus grabs him from the realm of the dead, so it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Cuddle Party. Cusco came in from the back, but on the other side, the Nefiri and the Lock kind of trying to make plays back in their own way. Good catch out from Jaymont.
Yes, absolutely true. Jmont's been putting in a ton of work here. He was last game. I kind of called him the unsung hero of Cuddle Party with his Bard ult, and he basically said, you know what? I want to be the sung hero this time. He is landing a lot of Leona E's, and he's making everyone on Vancouver Impact Challengers very uncomfortable.
Yeah, we see a 2.5k gold lead opening up a little bit for Cuddle Party. They also got the first Drake. Next Drake coming up in a couple seconds. Is there anything that you're looking for from VIP? Anything that they can do to, you know, not just win the fight, but, you know, maybe get this second Drake, maybe just slow down the snowball as Wukong goes in. Looks like Cusco's looking for more. Zeri quickly dashes over the wall. Nutty one able to get away, but that's a lot of damage on your Wukong, who does have that completed Trinity Force. Cusco looking pretty good so far, but yeah, looks like that's going to secure second Drake for the side of Cuddle Party.
So right now you're in a position where you just need to get gold back on the map. So while they take this drag, you really didn't even want to be around the drag. You knew they were going to take it more than likely. You want to go to every lane, push, get plates. That's how you can literally cut 300 to 500 gold lead away. It's just by hitting every part of the map and just slapping plates down. I can cut a good portion and make it a trade instead of a dub, right? Then you need to isolate ganks and get kills with this Lock and Nefiri. Wukong is very scary. Lock and Nefiri jumping on one of your million squishies is probably scarier. So find opportunities to get isolated 1v1s, such as by going to top lane.
Big fight going down. Mortar picks up Fuzz, and that Tristana is just super fed, trying to trade on the Lock. The damage is crazy out of Mortar. Picks up the double kill, maybe looking for a triple. Stunner right around the corner. Cusco did fall in that trade, picked up by the Lock. The flash comes out, triple kill for Mortar. Going to be able to make the plays happen. The Tristana in the top lane with the damage. Lock did get the shutdown on the Cusco, but speaking of, in the meantime, the engage. Lulu is caught. Looks like he's going to try and get out. Brock forced to flash. Zeri is there. Nutty one trying to protect their support, but Leona's on the hunt. Jaymont smells blood. The engage looking for Nutty one, going to be able to just kite back, not take too much damage. Looks like the Karthus wasn't really in a position to trade, but all in the meantime, Tristana, the Mortar gets an entire tower. That's a 4-1 Tristana in the top, as the lightning crash comes down on the Zeri. Cleanse used for the Leona, looking for the Karthus. Can he grab PSO1? Not going to be able to. Lots of damage coming down. Looks like Nutty One might be the one regretting this trade, and looks like he still wants to continue. The Zeri trying to make the plays happen. Doesn't have that barrier, only the flash up. Does have the lifesteal boots, no stacks yet though. And looks like in the bot lane, there's going to be a truce for a second.
And I think the reason Nutty One went in is you said Karthus didn't want to trade there. Why? Karthus ran out of mana. So Nutty One recognizes Karthus is critically low on mana. Auto-attacking Karthus is a big lump who does nothing and gets killed, right? So you go in on Karthus and try to pick up a kill. Unfortunately, Leona kind of got it. Leona kind of got the sauce. She kind of hurt. And the Karthus had just enough mana to throw 1 or 2 Qs out to keep the game going. And now we might just be seeing a free Herald, and this game's gonna blow up one way or another. It feels like, even with all the action we've seen, this is still just the calm before the storm.
Yeah, we're only 16 minutes in, 12-7, 4K gold lead for the side of Cuddle Party. Looking pretty good, but all that gold lead's pretty much going to be on your top side. You've got the Tristana up almost 2,500, and then your Wukong is up about 1,002. So it looks like there's an engage coming down. Schneider might have been caught out, but Leona's here. Jaemon with the disengage, but that's going to be a dead Lulu. Cusco picks up Brad. The Solar Eclipse comes down. Zeri on the run. Nutty One going to fall as well. Schneider picks that one, and now Stunner gonna go down, follow the rest of his teammates to the gray screen as the mortar is here. The Tristana here to end, but Locke is here. Pigeon looking for something, gets the execute onto Jaemon. Can he get more? Gonna be forced to dash out because the mortar is still... Down goes Pigeon to the Hui, and the Karthus ult in combination, or no, that wasn't even the Karthus ult, that was just Hui doing all that damage, gonna pick up that kill. That's going to be a 4-for-1, or 4-for-2 for the side of Cuddle Party, and now they're sieging this mid T2, and there might be another fight brewing. Fuzz just gonna walk up and start autoing this Tristana, gonna get the tower. Out comes the Ornhorn. Here comes the knockup. Flash used by Schneider to be able to get out of that, and they're still gonna continue. Nutty One is here. Nutty One has Lightning Crash. They're gonna be looking for something. The Zeri is sniffing. 0-4-1 does have that first item though, gonna be pretty strong, and little question mark frog thrown up by PS, and looks like that's gonna be the end of that conflict.
Wow, 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 wow. Ah, well. Okay. Taste of things to come. Big team fight happens. Lots of ults and summoners get blown, but all in all, nothing too big gets blown up. I am getting a little worried about VIP Challengers' chances. It feels like the real issue is that this Karthus is just scaling way too well. And even if you were to compare... Uh-oh.
Oops.
No.
Solar Flare comes down.
See ya, bro.
The engage by Jaemon. Wild Growth used on themselves. Brought trying to survive. Cusco picks up his 6th kill of the game, and I think there might be a 7th about to follow as Pigeon is trying to get away, able to get out, and I think that bot side jungle just goes over to Cuddle Party as the jump in comes from Mortar. Looks like he's going to try and get the kill on Stunner. The Tristana damage is absolutely ridiculous, and it looks like they are conceding the Soul Point Drake in favor for the Ornn. Going to be able to get a top side turret in exchange. Fuzz just trying to minimize their losses at this point, but man, if Leona catches literally anyone, it is just over for them.
Straight ogre. And if we take a look at the gold values of everyone, you can see that Tristana's gold is freaking massive. She has almost 10k. The crazy part is she's tied with the jungler at also 9k. And then you see there are 3 top gold spots are owned by the mid, the top, and the jungle. The top side of Cuddle Party is going freaking insane right now. Freaking insane. The amount of gold they've gotten is just nutty. And I'm starting to worry about potentially Cuddle Party kind of turning the corner on their gold lead and going from offensive items to survivability items, and seeing how that affects the ability of Locke and Zeri to tear apart the champions they need to win teamfight.
Yeah, 100%. And oh, we might see an engage on the bottom side. But at the same time, we're looking at the top side. The double knockup comes out of Orin. Fuzz looking for something. Nutty One is there, but Cusco just a little bit too tanky for them to do anything about. They just kind of walk away. Had a little engaged wild growth used by the Zeri in exchange for the Cyclone from Wukong. So just little ultimate trades, as looks like Cuddle Party might be trying to set up something in this jungle, might be setting up a trap for Stunner as his red buff does spawn. Persona gonna auto that, so now Stunner knows they're there. Going to be able to maybe not get out. Cusco wants to continue the fight.
Whoa!
Oh, Tristana just sends it. The mortar goes. Ultimate used. Able to get the Ornn back. That might have been a dead Tristana if he didn't have that ult up. But yeah, as you were saying, it's looking rough. You know, at this point, your Zeri's 0-4. And that bot lane, despite your gold not being there, that's kind of exactly what you want, because the Karthus, that means the Karthus hasn't been interacting.
Yes.
And he's just able to farm. He's able to scale. He's got the needlessly large rod. Looks like he's building into maybe a Shadow Flame coming up next. I'm just scared. Once he gets to that Rabadon's point, which is probably when this Zeri is going to be able to get her IE, get her, you know, her LDR coming in, I think that the game might be a little bit far gone by then.
My other question is, look at everybody on Vancouver Impact. Who is gracefully tanking random Karthus ults when they start coming in the late game? Like 4 of the 5 players on that team are going to take like half to 3/4 of their health with Karthus ult. It is going to be ugly. They are just not very tanky. Now, fortunately, in the theory, if she has W, she can W out of it, right? That's cool. But everyone except her and Ornn are in big trouble. Uh-oh. Bot.
Oh, that might just be a dead Lulu who just gets absolutely deleted. PS gonna pick up his 3rd kill of the game, and looks like Cuddle Party is just absolutely running this map, forcing them off of that mid T2, now looking for the bot T2. They're going to be pushed back a little bit. VIP saying, you might be able to take mid, you might be able to take our Yordle, but you cannot take our bot T2 tower. That's not for you. One thing I do want to say is, you've got Pigeon, who's on the lock. You know, we saw how good he was on the Ahri last game. You want him on these playmaking mages. I fear that Locke might just kind of start to fall off as this game goes over. And he has 5 kills, so he's kind of accelerated, but he's not going to be, you know, at 30 minutes, he's not going to be as strong as a Hui is at that point.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when he was playing Ahri, he had lots of short-range targets, Cassiopeia, who kind of jump in on and get free charms on. That's not happening against Hui. Uh-oh, Schneider going on the train ride.
Horn used, gonna get the knockup on the Hui, forced to flash away. Locke is there. Pigeon looking for the follow-up, gonna get the shutdown, 6th kill of the game for the Locke, and poor Broad just face tanks the Hui ultimates. But they do get the kill, they get a kill back. They might potentially try and look for this mid T1. We do see 3 members of their team in that mid lane, but Leona and Karthus are there to respond. PS and Jmont not wanting to give up that mid T1. And I think at this point, if you are the side of VIP, you want to play for those picks. You want to try and get on top of this Hui. He has no flash. He's got barrier. He doesn't have TP. So there are immobile mages. There are opportunities. And speaking of opportunities, the Cyclone used. Cusco gets on top of Pigeon, and I think that's just a deadlock. Tries to dash away. Cusco 7-1-7 has himself a nice little bounty on his head, and Pigeon just follows his enemy mid laner right to the gray screen right after. One mid laner got caught, and then another mid laner got caught right after.
That's the story of this game. It's one of the team throws, the other team's like, you know what, you can have it. It's the SpongeBob meme on the plane. Now let him have it. You can have it.
Oh, speaking of throwing, looks like Stunner's trying to get a fight on. Pushed back. The Karthus ult coming over. Look at that damage coming in. Not too much yet. Leona with the engage. Cleanse used by Nutty One with the lightning crash, going to try and fight this off. And looks like they're going to be able to get out. Look at how fast Zeri is running. Tristana taking some damage, and Fuzz looks like he wants to continue it. Zeri ultimate is going to be timing out soon. Ornhorn is used, not going to be able to pick anybody up, and looks like the team's looking for a disengage. everybody except for Fuzz and Brock. Looks like they're kind of quick for it. Here comes the lock in. Here comes Pigeon looking to make a miracle play. They are going to get the Hextech Soul, and Pigeon is going to follow in. Orin looking for the knockup, hit by Hui's abilities. Not really going to be able to get much. Forced to flash back, but Cusco once more. Cusco flashes forward, dashes forward. He's on a rampage. And on the bottom side, the Nefiri is getting jumped on. Double kill going over to Cusco, picks up Pigeon. He's going to be able to get out. And on the other side, all you traded was your Hui. Nefiri able to pick up that kill onto Hui. And so you get Soul, you trade 2 for 1. That seems like it's pretty good for Cuddle Party.
Oh my goodness, how is Cusco not dead? It's a crime! I was like, oh, he's under 200 health and he's got 2 people on him. Surely he is dead. Wrong. Cusco is just having a life game right now. The dude is going absolutely ham. Stream says he's very handsome and that's why he has kills. He's also great at the game. Listen, I've never seen the man in the flesh before, but he is great at this game. He is going crazy right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And looks like they are pushing up into this jungle. Stunner trying to find any of his camps, but Cusco, Jamon are there, and PS over the top, able to pick up the kill, goes on to a killing spree. Engage comes in from Jamon, double kill for the Karthus, and man, it just seems like one thing after another is going wrong for VIP as Cuddle Party starts to circle around this Baron Nashor, and all the meanwhile, the Mortar's just down in bot lane, just pushing waves, living his life, you know, doing his ADC thing, and that's going to be a Baron going over to the side of Cuddle Party.
And this is where it gets really scary, because in the first 2 games, it was Vancouver Challengers, Vancouver Impact Challengers, were the ones who were dictating the early game, and then it was Cuddle Party's really beautiful mid and late game macro that kind of led him back into the game and almost made it something.
Oh, we see the engage. Lightning Crash comes down. The Mortar pushed away, trying to 2v1, not going to be able to get it. The shutdown does go over to the Orin. Fuzz going to be able to pick up that kill onto Tristana. Nice little pick on the bot side. And like we said earlier, one person gets caught in mid, one person gets caught in bot. It's just the way that this series has gone between VIP and Cuddle Party, and VIP still trying to get control back of their jungle. Cusco in the top lane, maybe reminiscing about pushing down towers from his Fiora days, but they will be pushed back a little bit. Looks like Locke, Nefiri, Lulu, all of them are coming to respond.
Yeah, and as I was saying, I was speaking only in generalities, but in general, Cuddle Party was better with the macro, while Vancouver Impact had better hands. The issue is, you got outhands in lane, and now it's looking a little ugly. And Cuddle Party has had pretty much the better macro the whole time. And you are going to start looking down the barrel of an Elder and Baron before too long. I really worry about their chances if they're unable to get picks before these precious objectives spawn.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like double blasting wand. The Karthus is looking towards a Void Staff third potentially, as we do see Cusco dashing in, maybe looking for something on the Orin. Fuzz able to just walk away as the Mortar in the mid lane. Looks like there might be a fight going on there. The knockup comes out of Fuzz, but Cusco is just going to keep pushing forward, keep pressing that W key. There's nothing that he can do, but on the other side, knockup does miss the Orin Horn. Called down as Nefiri is sending it in. Cyclone used in response by Cusco, able to get out, but all in the meantime, mid lane is being sieged. That Baron Cannon is going absolutely crazy, and looks like we might see an inhibitor fall down for the side of, or to the side of Cuddle Party. Mid inhib looks like it might be going down, but man, they just really can't kill Cusco.
No, they can't. It's like, where's Waldo? There's where Waldo, and there's the kill Cusco, and they just can't do it. It's tough book. Really tough book, unfortunately. So yeah, Cusco playing their hearts out this game. Really uninterested in giving me a 40-minute content game, as we might actually be seeing the beginning of the end.
Yeah, Jamon looks for an engage. 91 able to cleanse and get out of that, but now the cleanse is down on the Zeri. Does still have that lightning crash. Going to be looking for something. Fuzz just dies to the Mortar. The bomb comes down. Cusco picks up another one. Dominating, grabs the mid laner of VIP. Double kill for Cusco. That's going to be a kill. Another kill for the Mortar, and I think that's just going to be the end of our series. Looks like Cuddle Party decided they have no time for a 40-minute game. They're a bunch of old guys. They want to go to sleep, and that is going to be a 2-1 series win for Cuddle Party over VIP. What a showing out of Cuddle Party and Cusco.
You know, I'm really sorry I gassed up the series for you only for it to end like that, but man, that was fun. That was such a fun series. And they let me go to sleep by my bedtime. Really well played. Out of these two teams, Puddle Parley truly deserved what they got in getting that game. They honestly played so well. So well. Really unfortunate to see what happened in kind of the mid and bot lane there and how it kind of slipped away a little bit, but really nicely done out of Pigeon. Pigeon fought their hearts out that entire series. Even in the losing games, the Ari plays by Pigeon were great. So, and it was still about 30 minutes. You still got your money's worth. So, wow. How are you feeling, Nemo? What are your thoughts?
Man, that was a phenomenal game 3. Cuddle Party came out. They looked dominant. They looked good. I was excited for the Zeri pick. Zeri never really got the chance to get online. Like you said, they kind of just got hands gapped in this game 3, as well as the macro gap that had been showing even into game 2. And I think that moving forward, that Cuddle Party is definitely going to be a team to watch out for. They've made a couple good games already. They've had some good plays. Cusco has been playing out of his mind, and as long as this mage bot meta is good, looks like PS is pretty comfortable pulling out that Karthus, and even the Hui, like you said, could have been a flex. And I just think that out of the draft, you got a counter pick top, you got a pretty like an okay matchup mid, a good matchup jungle, and then just straight up CC out of your bot lane, as well as the damage coming out of Karthus. I just think it was a really good team comp. I think they executed it well. And I think Cuddle Party just looked like the better team in that game 3.
Yeah, they really did. Their macro was sublime. But hey, if you are Vancouver Impact Challengers, this is a great set of games to go show your coach because it contains a lot of macro and high level decisions that if you on a team as a team can iron out, you could have won game 2 and you could have won the whole thing and just sat there with a nice quick 2-0 and no one would have batted an eye. Cusco, however, retains his undefeated streak in the series at the archives. Really well played. Really well played. Any kind of final thoughts before we sign out here, Nemo?
All I'm saying is Cusco's putting up a pretty strong case for him to be the MVP this split, just through 3 weeks or 3 games, but he's looking pretty strong, and I think that that we might have an MVP run on our hands here.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in these 3 games. I hope you enjoyed the ups and downs as much as I had. Um, I hopefully you heard me peaking my mic because I was just going crazy watching the end of those. Lots of good content. A couple things to look at as I transition real quick here. Please take a look at our socials, fellas. Come to the archives Discord if you haven't yet. This is where we come and host all our tournaments. You can jump in as a sub, you can get coaching, you can find people to play fives with so you don't have to deal with the randoms that Riot deposits upon you. Come join our Twitch. We have a lot of fun people. There's a ton of fun games you're going to watch. I'm pretty sure we have games tomorrow coming up. Don't quote me on that, please. I will get yelled at. Come watch our YouTube. Come watch our YouTube. Some of you were extremely tragically playing your own games during this series. Happened to Nemo. Nemo, I'm so sorry. Thank God you get to go to YouTube and you get to experience the craziness all over again, including my technical mishaps, and just watch 2 of the craziest games you will see this summer. Literal absolute cinema. That will be out on YouTube eventually. Also follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, and everywhere else. We will be giving you guys content. We will be showing you some of the highlights, some of the craziness that's happening, and we'd love to have you around if you just found us on Twitch. But in lieu of anything else, guys, I really hope you have a good rest of your day. Cannot wait to see you the next time I start streaming. If you have anything you want to talk to us about in terms of the stream layout that I have here or anything else, please talk to us on the archives feedback form. We're always looking for feedback to make our stream look better. This was a very new and experimental UI I was using to try to make the thing look just a little more professional, try to get you as much information as you possibly could so you could really see what was happening in the game. But otherwise, I'm going to let you all go. I am Pike Wazowski. I had a great friend, Nemo. Thanks to Monster as well for being with me on this cast. And guys, have a good night. We'll see you later.